Hey, everybody. How's it going? So, we've got a little bit of Warhammer that we're going to go over. I'm going to spend about an hour going over some of the replays. Had a lot of really good games from Saturday. If you want to check the majority of them out, then maneuver yourselves on over to my VOD from Saturday, and you'll see tons of these crazy fun matchups that we had. Especially the semis and the finals and everything were amazing to watch. God, especially these games with Jaeger from yesterday. But yeah, we're going to try to get our eyes on some of the other games that we have here that we haven't gotten a chance to cover yet. I think we'll just start here. I know that Random Cuban and Hattie have been playing these Dowie Warriors of Chaos games quite often, and from what Hattie said, they were fairly even in the win rate so far. So we're going to be perusing through here to see who's going to be able to take this one home. Really cool to see Gotrek in a build. Definitely not the most meta character ever, but using him to back up Belegar I can see working out really nicely because doesn't really leave anything vulnerable. Like, Belegar is really hard to kill as is because he just has a ton of health and he's actually really solid in terms of his stats. He doesn't put a lot of damage out, but it's a massive waste of time usually to go after him. There are a few characters that can bully Belegar, though. Gotrek kind of covers up for that, because he certainly takes a lot of damage, but he dishes it out like crazy. Keeping them together so they can maneuver around and kind of stack up and do some heavy lifting, if any big characters get in, can definitely work itself out for you, I think. Dowie Rangers just backing up all the Dwarf Warriors and the Miners. Nothing too crazy here. Just one Vanguarded Miner on the 2 and the 3 here. Oh, and on the number 1, so going pretty wide, but that's not really a bad idea to try and pull some attention away as the Dwarves. Just leaving something out that looks like a freebie can give you an opportunity to start summoning in missile troops behind that, and to push up and maybe get some cheeky punishes on somebody big like Sartorial. That's kind of what Hattie's going for here. The Grim Delvers do come out a little too deep set, though. They have Vanguard deployment, so bringing them out here would be the better option. Maybe doing it farther back so that when they do come in, they don't get exposed for the initial summon phase. They do appear on the map before they go into stalk, so if your opponent's paying really close attention, they shouldn't be surprised here, but you'd be shocked by how often people get caught by these guys, not paying attention to them appearing out of the shadows. It's a really good dive in here. Dowie infantry have higher mass than most do, and the better quality that the troops are, the higher their mass goes. So it can actually be kind of difficult for chariots at times to pull through entire units. Using Sartorial just to break the unit up early and giving a little bit more space for these guys to maneuver is a great call, and we do actually get some great damage in here from the Grim Delvers. They bust through the shield, they get about 600 HP off of Sartorial, which is a pretty good start, all things considered. He's very expensive. He's definitely going to need to do a lot of heavy lifting. He got a decent little Searing Doom off here. Grim Delver's taking a little bit of damage. The Dowie, if they're smart, will just give up on this point. There's nothing that a Miner and the Grim Delvers are going to be able to do by themselves. And Random Cuban's the type of player to recognize an opportunity like this. Honestly, just keep maneuvering in over here and start jumping all of these reinforcements that are coming out. Hattie is overloading pretty heavy right now on this point. Now, it's fine for him to do that because he does just have his main formation. Dowie boxes are very hard to break open. You have to play incredibly carefully. Coming in right now is a little bit of an overextension. This is getting a little over-eager potentially, but the Sibilant Slaughtercade is doing great work. And they do have Strider, So they can continue the rampage up into the trees without losing too much momentum. Another really good Searing Doom here. Rangers getting roasted a little bit by the magic missiles. Or I guess it's not really magic missiles, it's a bombardment, but whatever. Giant searing bolts of molten gold from the sky. Cannon comes out. Cannons for the Dowie, goated, absolutely. Probably the best artillery piece in the game. At least for the standard versions, you know, with the traditional, like, 4-piece setup. Shots coming in here. A little inaccurate, though, for these initial volleys. Got about 40 model kills, but not on anything too high quality, it seems. And Dowie are just laying waste to all of these units as they're trying to approach. I think this is... Random Cuban is splitting his attention a lot right now. We do get a really nice engagement here, though. Aspiring Champions get up into the Grim Delvers. This is going to actually be a brutal beatdown. Grim Delvers are actually a fairly solid unit in terms of their stats as a range piece. Usually, range units for the dwarves when they get caught are just kind of dead. These guys have Frenzy, decent damage output with the buff from it as well. Aspiring Champions just massively outclass them, though, with the 45 melee defense. They got a ton of weapon strength. Grim Delvers with their 80 armor mitigate quite a bit, but it's not going to save them. They're just going to slowly lose out here, and the Aspiring Champions will still be fairly healthy when it's all said and done. The Rangers with the beautiful concave here, like, both of them posted up with a little bit of infantry support, pinning all of the front line for the Warriors of Chaos in place, and self-peeling the Forsaken off of the back line here. But a lot of occupied units. All of the Warriors of Chaos units, though, are very low HP, and if any of them start to route out of here, it's going to allow the Dowie to just post up with all these guys a little bit farther back, and they should be able to clear out the remaining units that are pushing through onto them. Random over here has cleaned up the Grim Delvers. You can see how quickly and easily the Aspiring Champions and a little bit of Marauder support are able to do it. An Aspiring Champion's going to occupy another miner out here. I mean, it's not a lot of value, but the important part is Random being able to hold on to a point and also doing a decent job of pushing through up top now. You can see some of the Rangers are running now. If Random can just get Sartorial on the ground to start terror routing some of these Rangers back into the forest, then maybe you can work with some timing pushes to get the Dowie off the middle here. They really don't have too much. It's mostly Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors by themselves really aren't much of a threat. It's a lot to have out on the field here. It won't be easy getting rid of them just because they do hold for a long time, but without the shooting available to support them, that's where Dowie really fall apart in the late game. They have to have missile units on the field if they want to value trade. More chariots coming up. And this #1 objective is held fairly securely. There are also some throwing axes over here. They could get active and moving up to the front. They're going to be really good for hammering down the Iron Breakers from the flank. This Iron Breaker unit is going to be a very nice tool to hold onto that center point. It may just be time for Hattie to think about holding on the double cap for the rest of this game. You committed a lot down here. Most of it's been cleaned up now as well by the Warriors of Chaos because it just wasn't high quality, and you did lose the Grim Delvers in the midst of that. Just focus on saving what few Rangers you've got up top here, which is going to be really hard. I mean, the Chariot's pushing through now. This one not nearly as effective as the ROR variant that we saw earlier, but still capable of bullying Rangers who are very low armor. The kind of thing that Chaos Chariots want to feast on. And in a very broken battlefield like this, without anything to threaten them, like Gyrocopters and the Skyhammer Squadron, they're going to be able to cause quite a bit of havoc. And we actually have a brutal flank back here. This Forsaken that was fighting on the #3 objective over here was routing a bunch of Dwarf Warriors back and ends up in the cannon, actually kills the crew, and is only finally shut down by a Slayer unit that comes out. 851 value on that Forsaken is beautiful for a Random Cuban, and it's shut down the last thing that can really do anything to the Chariot. Chariot able to get out into the open space and really start to run some stuff over. And you can see the final Rangers going down. Value trading is still slightly in favor of the Dwarves, but Cuban has done a really good job of splitting his attention here. and has identified all of the relevant threats. And this is the danger of bringing Gotrek and Belegar together instead of just having one really cheap lord. You've invested like 1,400 gold into a character that really needs to be fighting quite a bit to really pay for himself. That just really hasn't developed out the way you want, because nothing is coming to fight them. They're just being tar-pitted by like aspiring champions and slowly ground down. The cap weight they provide is awesome, but the Ironbreakers are doing the majority of the holding here. You can see they have 6 cap weight. Once the Ironbreakers get ground down, you can just continue tar-pitting Gotrek and Belegar for the rest of the game, and there's not really a whole lot that they're going to be able to do about it. Cap situation still good for the Dwarves. They should bunker up on the number 3 for now. If they get an opportunity to go to the number 2, then they can take it, but right now they need to think about what they are holding for the time being. Do like this push. This is sneaky Dowie play. This is what you need to do in these kind of scenarios where you don't have the kind of missile line that you need in the late game to really dissuade your opponent from advancing up on your other points. Just going for cheap minor caps out of the Vanguard can really force some overreactions out of people. Miners are a really terrible unit, but they are difficult to get through unless you just have amazing AP infantry holding a point, which you very rarely are going to use those on the defensive anyways. It's going to be really interesting to see what Cuban throws out over there, because he really needs to utilize some of these supplies to answer all of these guys advancing. Marauder Great Weapon's going to be going up and taking the fight with a Forsaken unit, so that should be plenty to actually hold this point, but the problem is that you're losing it in the meantime. You haven't captured either the number 3 or the number 2 in all of this fighting. And Hattie is staying in here with the value trading, in fact, and there's another Ironbreaker on the field, so that's going to be impossible to move off of the number 2. If they both get on there, then it's very unlikely that the Warriors of Chaos are going to be able to take that objective with the time they have remaining, and it's about triple cap time for the Warriors of Chaos. They really need to be pre-planning for having all of these objectives capped up in short order. You also get a Marauder Throwing Axe out here on the edge, but they just run right up into the line of fire of the miners, and 15 armor ain't saving you from the blasting charge volleys. It's a lot of HP damage to be taken on a unit that really doesn't have very good leadership at base to begin with. I play very carefully with those guys in this matchup, because the Dwarves just love shooting up Skirmish Cav. They've got so many tools to deal with it. I really don't love bringing any myself. The only reason you want to have a couple of horsemen in reserve as the Warriors of Chaos is for gyrocopters, and especially the gyro bombers. Not having any missiles to pressure those can be really painful, and having your flying characters chase stuff like that all game can also suck, because the Dowie range pieces on the ground are usually really good at peeling off flying characters. We get the number 3 caps for the Warriors, but they're just struggling so hard to grab any of the other points. Now that like I said, now that there's more Ironbreakers on the field, the Warriors of Chaos just have to play this really awful game where they're like forced to send units to just grind into those guys for ages. It's a little bit better for the Warriors to have them out here, but they're just not going to be able to finish them off as long as they're in the back right now. They're just getting to fight in the forest. They're grinding down like Marauder Great Weapons and whatnot. Ironbreakers have insane melee defense, so, I mean, they're going to chip you down really slowly, but it's going to be very, very consistent. Just because barely anything can touch the melee defense of an Ironbreaker. Even the standard ones, not even to mention the Norgremlings, who have close to 80 melee defense, which is absolutely insane to deal with them in melee combat. It's usually the Chaos factions that struggle to do it. What Random really needed here was the Soul of Damnation, but I gotta commend him for not bringing that, because that's just always the best, like, artillery piece option for the Warriors of Chaos. Soul of Damnation, they just plop in, and it just farms value with all of its ammo and quick firing. Impossible to shut down with good play, and Random is very practiced with it as well, so that would definitely have helped out the Warriors of Chaos. Just from a build perspective, that's like the only thing I would change. Some minor adjustments that I would throw out here is just to take advantage of the dwarves overextending in one area to start the game off. Instead of diving in here in the middle, which is what Random ended up doing, if you just focus on overwhelming one flank of the dwarves, while the rest of their army is just sitting off to the side, you get your cap, you get a lot of value, you preserve the majority of your forces, and then you've got a huge force that can just flank around the entire Dowie formation. And dwarves are unique in the respect that you can get away with so much playing into their backline at times. Because the Dowie don't have very good coverage for their backline, since they lack skirmish cav or any real mobility outside of the war machines that I described. That's the gyro bombers and copters, and very rarely you're going to see a ton of those out from the dwarves now. They're a lot less powerful than they used to be. So just flank overloading against the dwarves and just rushing their backline with a huge portion of your army really isn't a bad idea, because that puts them in the awkward position of rotating all of these really slow Dowie infantry and missile pieces. And only really goated Dowie players are going to be able to salvage that kind of positioning deficit, you know? Hattie is amazing and is awesome at the game, but with the Warriors of Chaos availability of speedy units, they should easily be able to overwhelm the dwarves that way, because they got Forsaken, Marauders are still fairly quick, all these chariots can just motor around the side as well. And then you advance up with your aspiring champions, and the Marauder Great Weapons can kind of poke in behind that as well. I think that would be a more consistent way to take the dwarves down. You see these guys got pretty decent value. They didn't quite pay for themselves, though. And Sartorial, I think, is maybe just a little too expensive. He did okay. He was used very conservatively. Dwarves actually don't have a lot of coverage against terror-causing units. You can use characters like Sartorial aggressively to try and terror out isolated missile pieces. You didn't get a lot of those this game. But against the miners off on the side, after shutting down the Grim Delvers, you can just use Sartorial to scare all the miners away. They're like the most likely thing that you can terror out. I don't really like the Hellstriders either. Like, get rid of these three Hellstriders and just get anything else. Mobility-wise. I mean, even a Chaos Knight with the Lances actually is pretty good in terms of options nowadays. They hit really hard. They're also 100 gold less. Good micro on them can absolutely carry you in a game. The standard Warriors of Chaos version is doesn't get all the fancy cool stuff like the Tzeentch and Khorne Knights. They're even cheaper though, and 80 charge bonus you can't really turn your nose up at. With this kind of weapon strength, this boost means that they will one-shot a ranger with a good frontal charge. I don't think you can really pass that up. They'll struggle against some other more heavily armored stuff, but even against like Iron Breakers and some of the more heavily armored Dowie units. Here, let me just show you. Have a good idea of what I'm talking about. So if you run into like a Thunderer, they got 80 armor. Same with the Grim Delvers, also an 80 armor unit. Even against those, there's enough AP on these guys, and then just high enough base weapon strength that they'll get through a decent amount of this HP and the armor on the charge. And then they have superior stats, so they just grind them down anyways. Just one of those instead of the Hellstriders could put in a lot of work for you, I think. Some high elf action against Bretonnia. Yeah, you know what? Let's get some Bretonnia action in here. Lazuka, who used to play a lot of the Dowie himself, is coming in here, repping the Noble Knights of Bretonnia. We've got Alberic. We've got a Lifecaster as well. Usually the best pairing if you're going to be going with Alberic. Lewin you take, and then you can bring other Lord options since Lewin heals, but Albrecht doesn't have a self-heal. He's a pretty good target for the regrowths and the Earthbloods. And he provides a lot of utility. He's got the Trident of Manon, which can do a lot of damage to missiles, especially like tightly packed missile units. Also discourages leadership, fairly long-lasting. Dive in with your Terror on top of the Trident and Terror route pretty much any position of infantry in the entire game unless they have ITP, which, knowing the matchup, you're not expecting a lot of that from the High Elves. High Elves have a lot of high leadership units, but they don't have a lot of ITP, very much like the Dwarves. The units that do have it are fairly expensive. Like, even the Silverin Guard at 850 don't have any resistance to psychological type of fear effects. Brita Borlo is also nice for getting extra stats in the mobility fights, which against the High Elves is really important because they are also very excellent heavy cavalry in terms of quality. I've also got like Illyrian Reavers and whatnot, but really it's the Fireborn that you have to worry about, and being able to imbue a bonus versus large of 12 on just a basic Knights Errant goes a long way to allowing these guys to trade much better than they do at base, which really isn't too bad. Usually they just go bully low-tier infantry, though. Being able to double up on the roll makes this easy-breezy choice when you need to control those kinds of mobile engagements. Eltharion pops an Apotheosis and actually lands on the Damsel, who is not on horseback or on a Pegasus or anything. Not that it's a bad idea, I guess. I usually recommend horse at least for the Damsel, just so stuff like this happens a lot less. But the Beastslayer's a Bastoner here, so I guess the idea is to just anchor on top of those guys. It's a pretty good idea and option. Just leave her posted up in the middle of this unit, and she'll be very hard to dive again. Nice little Earthblood. Gonna heal the Beastslayers up a little bit at least. Maybe waiting until Albrecht gets into the middle of that would also be a pretty good idea. He was really close by, and just throw him up overhead and maximize the heals he applies. Tharin pops another Apotheosis, and Albrecht is just right on his ass. He's going deep for him. But he needs to be very careful because Lothern Seaguard, Lothern Seaguard and all the archers here doing a fairly good job of poking him. 90 armor is pretty good missile mitigation against these bowmen, but it's gonna hurt. The 4 AP that these guys have, as well as the accuracy that High Elf archers have in general, can definitely wear out even decently armored characters like this pretty quickly. Pegasus Knights on their way out, really good option, but need to be careful because Eltharion does have Tempest, and this can really shut down air units, and we actually see one going off here. It's going to hurt really badly because now they're caught out in the worst possible spot with multiple archer units paying attention to them now. Massive HP damage going down on the Pegasus Knights. Tempest is also at max intensity against these guys since they have less than 25 models. The tooltip is a little bit coy about what it's good against. It says single combatant and strong versus characters. Really strong versus characters means that like the monstrous unit type of format is what it's effective against. Knights of the Realm steamrolling off on the side, but running smack dab into the Silverin Guard. If it were a normal Spearman, I wouldn't even be too worried about charging it down. Regular High Elf Spearmen lack armor to survive enough knights just dogpiling on top of them. Silverin Guard, though, with the extra 35 that they've got available, and they're much better stats, really good at poking down the mid-tier cavalry options like the Knights of the Realm and the Knights Errant. Peasant Bowmen getting shot up really badly. They're a much worse unit. They are similarly lightly armored, but the extra range from the High Elf archers, as well as the superior accuracy and slightly better HP as well, usually means Peasant Bowmen just get shot to pieces before they even make it into combat. I wouldn't really recommend them against High Elves. The better option is Mounted Yeomen. The Mounted Yeomen can struggle in the 1v1 versus the Illyrian Reaver archers, but they're more versatile. They can maneuver around better. And they can scream in from the side and get shots into the High Elf archers while they're occupied. And then when the archers want to turn around, Mananyaman can just retreat away at that point. It's a lot of micro, but it's usually worth it, I would say. So we got some Knights of the Realm diving a huge chunk of the High Elf backline. Ties up the Phoenix Guard and the Sisters of Avalorn for a moment. And then requires the Illyrian Reaver archers to kind of get in here and also try to clean this up. So we do get a kill on a couple of the Bretonnian units back here. We'll see if that works out in any way for them. The problem here for Bretonnia is that they just can't cap the #1 with their bad quality cap weight. They've got a bunch of peasant mobs, and then they've also got the Spearmen at Arms, none of which have the normal 5 cap weight. Really only the Beast Slayers have it, and they're right off the point. Which means the High Elves are going to be able to start really equaling this out, or zeroing this out in their own favor. You can see that they've already got a huge lead. I'm reading this backwards. Making a bit of a mistake there. Alberic gets hit by a Tempest, and Eltharion with a ton of HP, ready to bully him a little bit. Pops the Fang Sword, misses a few attacks, but he does land enough damage in here to really have the Bretonnian player on the run with Alberic now. Very fortunately, the Tempest wears off, and Alberic also does have a huge speed advantage with Spirit of the Tempest. He's got 110 speed. Tharion has no hope of catching him without the Tempest active. He's going to pull away for a moment. Could probably just come in here and clean up this Peasant Bowman that's alive still. Or really probably go into the back line to help clean up some of these Knights Errant. You see a lot of Cav from Lazuka being overlapped with one another. This is a really easy mistake to make when you're learning these very aggressive mobile factions who rely on their cavalry. Beastmen are another one. High Elves oftentimes can be just like this. It is oftentimes advantageous to have 2 cavalry units charging something down, but there's a method by which you can maximize the effect. Really, you just get one to charge in the front, and then circle around. It can be kind of tempting to try and brute force through, but it very rarely works out against spear lines. Because what happens is you penetrate in, and then the spearmen just kind of fill the gaps in behind you, and then there's a solid wall as you're trying to pull back, and then your units just get caught and trapped, and they get ground down, and Knights are almost never wanting to do that. You know, they're shot cavalry, they want to get in and get out, and that limits their opportunity to do so. Just be a little bit more discerning about what scenarios you can do that in. When it's spears, never ever use horsemen to try and just brute force through. If it's a lightly armored gore herd or something that doesn't have the bracing ability and can't charge reflect, then you can just charge right through the middle of them. And then it's a totally different ballgame for it, you know, we're talking about for the here and now. Sisters of Avalorn throwing down some decent damage. They've been trying to pressure Alberic for a little while now. It's been a little bit inconsistent, but they're landing enough damage in here to keep the Earthbloods from really racking up some significant heal value. This is why you really need regrowth. It's just a better single target heal. If you're playing really, really well, you can get away with just having Earthblood. I usually do recommend it for most people, just because it limits the time that you don't have heals up for these guys. Because if you just have the Earthblood, you're waiting 30 seconds for a less than 10% heal. And if your Lord is getting chased around, kind of like how Alberic has been this game, and getting pressured by spellcasting, that's going to really hurt, because it's going to mean that there's a lot of downtime on a big character like that. You want to minimize the potential time. And you can see the value difference here. I mean, Alberic only has 747 value, and Eltharion is out here just putting the game on his back with 2200. He's doing amazingly. That's the kind of value that you're looking for into the late game position for Eltharion. And he really only gets stronger as games go on. Especially if you bring like a little mana battery mage for him. Eltharion can use magic literally the entire game if you have a 450 gold mage with the Book of Hoeth, I believe is what it's called. He just pops all 3 uses, and you get a ton of extra WOM. And it's a very cheap spell kit for Eltharion that's optimal. You just do Soul Quench, Apotheosis, and Tempest. Soul Quench is good at clearing out numbers. You got Apotheosis for self-healing, and Tempest to shut down anything to threaten you in the air. It's really beautiful. And then the Mistwalker Barrage is aces for diving on top of blobs, because it does a ton of damage in a radius around you. Drops 50 projectiles. It's basically Searing Doom. But you get an unlimited number of uses every 30 seconds as long as you recharge it in melee. In late game positions where he can continue to heal himself up to his cap, Eltharion I've seen get 4,000 plus value. It's really vile. This is the kind of game where he would pull it off too. Just continuing to go after like Knights Errant in the late game will be the way that High Elves just secure the win here. I mean, they've got this well under control. They're overlapping the Bretonnians right about now in terms of tickets. They've got a value lead. The enemy lord is routing off the field. You can see Alberic just has had enough of this. He just can't feast. Pegasus Knights are getting peeled off of Eltharion as we speak, and he gets a really beautiful Fang Sword here. This item is so nice into so many matchups. Anytime you're talking about a faction that doesn't have easy access to magical damage, Eltharion not only makes himself a stronger combatant, but also imbues 40% Fizz Res on himself, which lowers the amount of damage that he takes, obviously, and then it's effectively an HP boost for him. You know, with the amount of uptime that you can get out of it, being on a 2-minute cooldown, for a 10-minute game, you can get like 3 or 4 out easy. And it gives them lots of opportunities to engage into fairly risky fights that a lot of other Flying Lords can't do. Like, Alberic doesn't have anything like that to just allow him, you know, much safer, easy engagements into sketchy opportunities. Alberic gets hit by Tempest. He's going to go down here. There's no way he survives this. He just plummets to his death unceremoniously. And then his Hippogriff falls down beside him. They'll be fine. They'll be back for the next episode. No long-term damage. More Pegasus Knights coming in, committing fully to trying to kill Eltharion at this point, which I guess is really the only way you can get back into this. You know, Lazuka has definitely made a few mistakes here. This is a hard map, though, for Bretonnia, because so much of the map is cut off with this big forest. There's just an entire side of the battlefield you can't flank around, and it can be kind of hard on the other side here with the shot blocker terrain piece that actually takes up quite a bit of room. And then the forest also slows your guys down. So it's just been a matter of the High Elves making sure that the formation is nice and deep set. They've got plenty of cavalry coming out to force fights and slow up the knights, and then focus firing with all the missiles. And Elves have lost a lot, but they've preserved enough units here with substantial HP pools that I think just about anywhere that they end up going, they'll be able to hold on to. Are struggling a little bit to recap their back point. Just tattered Bretonnians taking it over, but the Illyrian Reavers should be enough. Just need to get around this Damsel who's providing 3 cap weight back there, and it should be fine. It is triple cap range, though. It would just make the game a little bit less sweaty, because there is still a very long chance that Bretonnia can get back in this. They do kill Eltharion back here. You heard the announcer state that here. Fireborn are also getting dove on by a Pegasus Knight, backed up by a Knight Errant, and they could do quite a bit of HP damage. Thankfully, the Phoenix Guard are here. They should be the X factor for deciding this fight in the favor of the High Elves. Bretonnia should probably just pull out of here, cut their losses, and try to clean up some of these other units that are on the field. None of which are super easy targets. I mean, it's a Lothern Sea Guard, decently defensible unit, crazy melee defense, terrible damage output, but bonus versus large of 16 does help. And then a Silvering Guard, and that's going to be GG. Bretonnia running out of time, doing a good job of scrapping in here, but meeting their match against a faction that can equal their numbers in the mobility game, also have pretty high-statted horsemen of their own. And just the superior combat lord. Eltharion was 100% the reason that the High Elves had such a good time there. He just was taking everything out. Sustaining himself with the heals, shutting down Alberic with the Tempest. Also, some of the Pegasus Knights suffering the same fate as their lord. Mistwalker Barrage doing all the heavy lifting he himself can't provide, just with the decent animations and attacks from the Hippogriff. And the Lotherns went crazy too. Both of these doubling their value just about. Silverins with 1,300, beautiful performance from those guys. And 1,000 from the Phoenix Guard is damn nice as well. And Fireborn too. 2,600 out of the Fireborn is always a good sign. That's about where you want them to be in terms of value trading, if you're going to be using them effectively. They're just such a strong piece. Anytime they can get any amount of healing, this is what you can expect from them on the low end, as long as you're not just taking wildly speculative and risky engagements with them. Peasant Bowmen actually got some pretty decent value. The issue is that they just don't last nearly as long. Like, the High Elves just bring shielded Lotherns, and they survive all of the ranged fights because of the Silver Shield, and then they just trot forward onto points and lock them down. What else have we got here? Empire versus Lizardmen. Oh, we got a Skink Oracle. This is a... I was wondering what they were talking about yesterday. I watched these guys play in the semifinals. Or actually, it was the finals. They played in the finals. But they were talking about this being a rematch. So this is their game from bracket, which is looking fairly different. I'm curious to see if this one goes the same as it did in the finals, because it was a very dominant performance by one side. Not to spoil it. If you want to see the final before watching this, check out the VOD from Saturday. Krokgar on Grimlock, actually. Hell yes, and the Skink Oracle on his Troglodon. Can't unmount the Skink Oracle, so, you know, he comes built with it. Troglodon does do really good damage at long range, and Krokgar with Hand of the Gods can also throw down some serious heat. Single targets. War Wagons is what I would focus in on with Hand of the Gods, though. The amount of damage that it does to War Wagons when it hits square is really filthy. It's just a triple strength Shim's Burning Gaze, which is why I recommend it. Uses it on the Roll Altar of Griffites. Does get some good value, but Engineers of the Mercurial Shot just slaying 18 of the Cold One Riders with a couple well-placed shots. It's really crazy how much damage these guys do. They're low-key one of the more broken units on the Empire faction, if you want my 2 cents on them. You just don't see people bring them too terribly often. I'm not a big fan of ratting out to people what the super strong units are, but I'll do it here. Engineers, crazy powerful. They will get you triple their value, even without the restocks. But the fact that they can throw this out as much as they want is really nasty, and is going to help allow the Black Lions to feast in this game. Really high impact artillery piece. You know, it's the standard Hellblaster volley gun just mounted, right? It's got 60 speed, decent leadership, so if it does get caught, it doesn't just rout and get run off the battlefield immediately. And enough armor and HP to also last through some decent damage, at least at the ranged stage of the game. If they get charged in melee, it can get a little rough, especially if it's something like a Cold Spear Rider. That's what you're hoping you can get them with, but it's going to be pretty tough. Jaeger has been showing off some crazy good micro. Gets a great charge on the Skink cohort with the Empire Knights. Got Empire Knights over here pulling back and then immediately getting back into the Saurus Warriors with the shields. dunking on the Skinks here. Royal Altar of Gryphites coming for the hammer from the other side. We're going to get a final transmutation out of Balthazar Gelt. Staff of Valance just gets him all the power recharge in the world. So he can just pop all of the magic early on if he has to. He's hammering Kroq-Gar here. And now the Gryphites are going to be able to help grind through this as well. They've got really good AP, great bonus versus large. Well, this could end up being a little too much for them. The Source Warriors actually hold a lot longer than I was expecting. That Terror not coming into play until just now. Gives time for the Skink Oracle to get over here. And Kroq-Gar's no slouch either. He is an anti-large character himself. He can do some huge splash damage to these guys, but he's looking a little lonely now. Swords are trying to rally back in. And the Skink Oracle assisting as much as he can as well, but mobility edge to the Empire, because they've just got all the Empire Knights in the world to be able to stop up any of the supporting cavalry. The Black Lions are just cleaving through Spear Riders, keeping the Chameleon Skinks back as well, and are now going to be able to hammer into the Oracle, which is trying to use the anti-large range attack it has. It's not really finding a whole lot of an opportunity, though. Bit of friendly fire, but also clearing out a lot of the remaining Source Warriors here. Altar of Gryphites can just pull back now. They've put in all the work that they can. The fight they got engaged in really didn't go too well for them in the long term. They just got a little too bogged down in the Source Warriors. Then with the Skink Oracle also shooting them from the flank, it's gotten some pretty effective value here, but the Lizards are just too slow. Way too slow for how many powerful tools are here for the Empire. This is looking like a disgustingly powerful build that Jaeger's thrown out here. There's really not a lot of superfluous stuff. Everything is cost-effective. All of the units have a clear-cut counter that they want to face down, and another unit in the opening build or in reserves that's very easy to summon out, like the Empire Knights, the grenade launchers especially, can just clear out that the beginning formation isn't good against. Especially infantry, right? The Black Lions, I should say, can do pretty good work against Source Warriors with the shields, but the grenade launchers do it in no time flat. These things throw damage out like candy on Halloween. And 60 armor is nice. It's not nearly enough, though, to survive the grenades here. Kroq-Gar continuing to maneuver around. We get a nice Searing Doom on top of the Cold One Spear Riders. These guys also have Harmonic Convergence active, so it's making it a little tough for the Gryphites here to poke through the melee defense. Searing Doom cleans them right up. And then alongside that, still got the Engineers over here, throwing down damage against Kroq-Gar and the Skink Oracle. These guys are still doing a pretty good job of staying alive, but firepower is getting a little overwhelming, especially with the Black Lions still online and throwing out the heat. Empire Knights could come in and trap Kroq-Gar too. Salamander Hunting Pack, it's a great volley off here though, and definitely what you need to be looking for more of. If you ever run into Jaeger again, Bird, I would recommend 2 Salamanders, including the Umbral Tide. I would get a Light Caster of some sort, if I could. Although maybe you don't even need that. 2 Salamander Hunting Packs, and then I think the other thing I recommended was the Bastiladon Solar Engines. Because the Solar Engines will equal the range of the Black Lions, and their shots increase the scatter on missile units. And the Hellblaster Volley Guns can be a little inaccurate already. With the blinded debuff applied to them, I actually think they'd miss a majority of their shots. And then you just completely zero out the most annoying long-range tool. And you can just work on the Engineers in the middle of all that. That's what where the Salamanders can really box out. Salamanders can lay waste to units like Engineers. Now, if they could spend more time focusing on that instead of having to do everything, which includes controlling the Empire Knights and whatnot, I think you'd have a pretty good shot. I would probably just trim down the infantry for the Lizardmen in future matchups. Like, just go for, like, 3 or 4 skink cohorts with the Javelins. backed up by all the mobility that you could possibly want. Even with an expensive Lord and Hero option, I actually really like the Oracle and Kroq-Gar together. I think that just running around popping Earthblood and Flock of Doom is also available for the Oracle. That would be another really good spell for facing down the Empire. Spread out some damage onto all the Empire Knights that are constantly trying to attack you. Same with the Outriders and the Free Company Militia. I think you'd have really good control via that combo, because you can see the Empire doesn't really have a way to clear the big monsters. They've done a fairly good job, but with all the healing, Kroq-Gar has lasted way longer than he would otherwise. So I think that they're actually the most effective parts of this army. It's the Sauruses with the shields and the chameleon skinks that I'm not sold on. They're just too vulnerable to the armored knights. If they get caught even a single time out of position, they just fold up. If you go with them and can keep them tightly packed with all the firepower to kind of dissuade any engagements, that's where you can find some success. And then you can just have that main formation cap a point up and build up your Coldwind Spear Riders, and then you can box out the Empire Knights and also threaten to go after the grenade launchers and the war wagons. And Free Company Militia are not going to be enough to protect all that stuff. Free Company are a nice supplement unit, but you see that Jaeger's strategy is to always bring them in last. Every single game that I watched, or he's playing this build, and he played it in every game that I spectated on a Saturday, so I think I've got a big enough sample size to speak from. He always summons out the Empire Knights and the Outriders first. Never ever brings in Free Company Militia until he needs cap weight to just hold a point. That's all he uses them for. He's not bringing them out to try and be any kind of answer to what he sees his opponents summon. They're a tempo piece to actively shut down any advance on a point and introduce like a new like unit archetype to the field. Because when you've been fighting a long game like this with a prolonged skirmish phase, you kind of forget sometimes to respect the power of a simple infantry piece with a bunch of ammo and a decently hard-hitting pistol. These guys really don't have the best range, but they can run stuff down because they fire while moving, and they're just a really great pursuit tool. We're actually going to see an opportunity for them to get some decent value with the pistols here. Nice volley into the Coldwind Riders. You can see that's not insignificant. Almost 1,000 HP off of these guys before they even get engaged. They do get a pretty good charge off, but Free Company go down to about half health, and then you can hit back with whatever is in reserve for the Empire. You can very easily hold points with just a few of them swarming around the objectives, and they're dirt cheap. They're like $450 for that package. Absolutely. Yeah, just the three of them. Sterling's Revenge is a really fun unit. I don't really think they're worth the money. But for how well Jaeger plays around them, I think maybe for him, they're an auto-include for the build just because they are AP and are just slightly better in melee combat. A little bit more reliable. Really good value on the grenades. See how many models they kill too. Like, even if they're not getting excellent damage values, at the very least, they clear out all the bodies. And that means that your remaining pieces have to put in a lot less work. So you don't have to worry about all these skink cohorts and whatnot. Once those grenades are all out on the field, it's hammer time. That's where the Empire Knights and the halberds, the Demigryph halberds, take over. It's a little different. I think we've seen plenty of these Empire games for now. We'll get back to them if we have time. This is from the Changer's Gambit tournament. This game is also from on the VOD from the other day. I think this will be an interesting watch here. We've got Khorne versus Tzeentch. Got a pretty interesting build too. We got the Blazing Squealers out from Tzeentch this time. I really do think that there's a time and place for Exalted Pink Horrors. I don't know if it's against Khorne personally, but into some other factions I've seen Exalted Pinks do really well. Got a couple Zangors, Chaos Warrior, 2 Marauder Javelins for Tzeentch here, which is a pretty good addition. They do a great job of controlling the Khorne Horsemen, who have the throwing axes. It's a very easy uptrade for the Tzeentch Horsemen. They have superior range and damage output against light armor. In the Khorne variant, the throwing axes do a lot of damage, but really, you use Marauder Horsemen of Khorne to kill big armored single entities and charge down like super trashy infantry. They are also pretty good at that. They've got crazy high weapon strength and charge bonus.
Keep it from the foe.
It's kind of hard to close the gap on the Javelin variants, though. They stay just ahead of you and they just pepper you with Javelin fire. And it hurts, too, because they have the Warp Flame ability. It increases fire damage and lowers armor, and they already have flaming attacks, so they, like, self-buff their own range damage. You can see that Death Pancakes is immediately respecting that space. If Tzeentch wants to come out here and take the #1 away, fine. It's removing the mobile elements for a moment so that Khorne can move up their main formation and start grabbing the actual objectives. And Khorne will win the melee fight. It's very rare that Khorne can be out-muscled in the front line. Even basic Khorne Marauders can do some hefty damage against unarmored targets. And then that's not even factoring in Skulltaker, just feasts upon the mortal souls and immortal souls of any and all infantry. He's just such a disgustingly strong character. He needs to maneuver over here, though. I mean, you could definitely engage onto this Tzeentch line. You've got some Chaos Warrior Halberds. They can actually deal with Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch. Believe it or not, the Khorne Halberds just slap the hell out of those guys. Mostly because of the melee attack they've got, and the AP damage is pretty nice, too. And anytime they spend fighting on Skulltaker can actually turn them into a bit of a dual-purpose lawnmower unit. Bloodwake Berserkers are just waiting in the forest. They should also move in here. Avoiding the damage is nice, but it's just a blue heart. You'd much rather have them on top of both of these Zangors. Ner'zhul, I think, just doesn't realize how much danger he's in here. It's very rare that you want to leave a static force available for Khorne units to jump on top of, but does get a terror route from Kairos onto the Marauders. ITP wears off as Frenzy gets to half leadership. You know, you lose the ITP, you lose the melee attack, you lose the weapon strength, charge bonus, all the goodies, and then you just run away, same as anybody else when you see a big scary monster. Skulltaker is way out of position. Needs to immediately scoot forward to get into the main fight. With Skulltaker around, it's very unlikely that you get terror routes on the Khorne units because he gives 12 extra leadership, or actually 16, because he has an Encourage aura too. And then he adds 16 more melee attack to everything around him, so he gives massive buffs. Every time you get engagement where the majority of your units are in melee contact in the front line, this is where you need Skulltaker. You need him running over units here, you need him to go support the DPS on the Halberds. Bloodwake Berserkers are a really good tool to sit on top of if a big scary combat character wants to beat up on Skulltaker. You can definitely press that a little bit more, but I do understand being divided elsewhere. Pancakes is trying to play the mobility game. It's really not going all that well. See, the Khorne Horsemen have been taken down. There were some Chaos Knights of Khorne. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. They haven't really done a whole lot either. It's pretty tough at times in this matchup for the Khorne mobile options, but you get a really nice engagement out of this Fury here. And the Lances did hold up the momentum on a lot of these Tzeentchian units long enough for the gap to be closed, and you actually get some really unfortunate leadership breaks here. I don't know what's going on with all these Marauder Horsemen. They're just getting so low, and they're breaking with decent amount of HP left. This is pretty abnormal. I wouldn't count on this regularly, though. But, you know, fortune favors the bold, and just face-checking Tzeentch out on the edge in otherwise unfavorable situation, actually paying off pretty nice for Death Pancakes. Kairos landing and actually getting surrounded by some Fleshhounds. It's a really bad spot for him. Fleshhounds love chewing on unarmored casters. And Kairos definitely doesn't have the stats to stay in here either. Only 20 melee defense. One Fleshhound could actually really chew this guy up, and he's running smack dab into the middle of the unit. Fortunately, able to use the superior mass to escape. Fleshhounds do have pretty decent mass, but 450 leaves a little bit to be desired. If it were 750, it'd be a lot harder for Kairos to just run away from them. Halberds standing tall, toe-to-toe with Skulltaker. Now that he's finally in the engagements here, you can see how quickly he starts to rack up kills. He's just got so much more weapon strength than a standard Blood Throne. On top of 61 melee attack, he never misses infantry with the extra 25 to hit. It's gross, man. He will grind through every single infantry unit in the game if you allow him to. And part of the reason for that is the immune to flanking that he gets from Cloak of Skulls. What that means is that that 25 melee defense, which really isn't that much, is always active around him. He's never getting hit by units that surround his model. And there is a minimum chance to hit, right? Like, any time you're introducing a little bit of extra melee defense to guard himself, it means that even on top of halberds, they have a hard time hitting him at times. You add in the Gore Feast and the damage that he's doing, and it gets to a point where even, like, ostensibly what would be a counterpiece to him just cannot survive any amount of contact with him. This is what makes him a little bit overtuned, arguably. Khorne kind of deserves it, though, because a lot of the other lords really are not nearly as good. Khorne does have a weakness to Kite. Skulltaker, really well played, is kind of your best option against Kite builds as well. Really nice Gaze of Fate, but nothing to follow up on Skulltaker here. He's just going to weather through it. He'll be fine. If you had like a heavy-hitting AP shooting piece to punish there, that would be what you really need to get rid of him. Router Horsemen have rallied up here. It looks like Tzeentch has finally regained some control in the mobility game, but as I expected, the front line just did not go well for them. They just can't get through the halberds here. Both of them doing pretty decently. Some good damage, weathering fire, and then allowing the Bloodwake Berserkers to just grind everything into oblivion. Bloodwake Berserkers are unmanageable in melee combat. You can criticize Khorne for some things, but thematic consistency definitely is not one of them. Cynagors are trying to catch Skulltaker in the open field. The good charge bonus in AP and magic damage to get through the physical resistance would mean that they can get some decent work done. They can't stay engaged against him, though. Skulltaker's also good against cavalry, believe it or not. Benefits of never losing melee attack, right? Unyielding Assault is turning out to be one of the better abilities to have.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Kairos lands on the ground here. He's just not gonna hit Skulltaker. He just doesn't have good melee attack. You really need to bring Sartorial into Khorne if you're playing Tzeentch. Sartorial is by far and away the best option for you to use. You actually get a Sword of Khorne on top of the Cynagors. You can see it doing a ton of HP damage. It's actually pretty good for clearing unarmored, expensive stuff like this. Skulltaker might actually be able to clear these guys out now. If he just stays in here and fights, I think he'd actually win pretty quickly, but Screamer's coming in, I guess pushing him back a little bit, but there's just no front line for Tzeentch anymore. And Khorne is just going to start throwing bodies up on the points. And there's no way you're going to be able to outmuscle at that stage. Excuse me. Your best bet into Khorne 9 times out of 10 is to just play full Kite and hope that you can whittle them down over time and maybe get a Lord Snipe and put them at a value deficit that they just can't recover from. Khorne is very bad at playing from behind, but Khorne is amazing if they are playing from an equal amount of value as you, or if they have a lead. If Khorne gets a big enough lead, they'll just spawn camp you. That kind of looks like what Death Pancakes is about to get going here. Blazing Squealers and the Cynagors of Tzeentch are really the last bastion of strength. These Marauders are really low, and they're about to get overwhelmed by the Fleshhounds and the Furies. Screamers cannot fight Khorne Furies, and I wouldn't really recommend them at all either, period. There are better options if you're looking for some non-Shadows of Change Tzeentch tools. The problem with the Screamers is that they just don't have good stats. They have awful melee attack and melee defense. The Shrieking Skyrays are good because they also have an ability called Lamprey's Bite, which does some pretty good damage to unarmored infantry. And have better stats as an ROR, but that's really it. If you're playing without the DLC, I would just recommend bringing Tzeentch Knights. Tzeentch Knights are pretty hard-hitting. They've got the Lances now, too, so the charge bonus is even better on those guys. And they can just be a really effective shot cavalry unit to kind of sweep your opponent's mobility. Khorne actually really struggles against the Tzeentch Knights. They have Minotaurs. Minotaurs are a little slower, though. Kind of hard to catch. And the Tzeentch Knights can just hammer against the Fleshhounds and the Furies, which are pretty important units for Khorne because they keep other mobile elements in control. They aren't usually there to rip everything to pieces, actually. Oftentimes, Furies are more of a, I'm gonna threaten a dive on you type unit. You use them just to get your opponent's missile units unsettled, where they like want to pull them back and maneuver them around a whole bunch and not actually have them shoot. If you commit to dives with Furies, you have to make sure that they get time to just sit and grind. Because they've got decent stats on the charge, but it's really the melee attack on the Khorne Furies that you want to get going. And if they sit on the ground too long and your opponent has heavy cav around, to charge down Furies just fold up under cavalry attack. It's really gross. It's one of the best ways to throw away all of your supplies as Khorne, is to get over antsy with your Furies. If you play patiently with them, and wait until you build up a critical mass of pressure, that's when you can really feast. Bloodwake Berserkers with a casual 3,500 value and 450 kills, and they took no damage. No problem. That's what I'm talking about. The way that you get around that is just have the Marauder Horsemen go shoot them to death. Bloodwake Berserkers are 40 speed. They're not catching anything. That's on horseback. And the damage from the Javelins is actually more than enough to kill the Bloodwake Berserkers. That's what you need to focus on if you see them out on the field. Either that or have a Cynagor of Tzeentch just cycle charge them as much as possible. I would recommend shooting them, though. There's no point ever fighting them in melee. Ogre Kingdom Kislev game? Did we? I don't think we actually watched that one. So yeah, let me go grab that. That'll be a really good one to show off. We don't see tons of Ogre Kingdom. You know, Ogre Kingdoms for a little while were actually a pretty popular choice for the new player tournaments. Haven't been seeing them too terribly often outside of you, Empire. I'm cheering for you to get a tournament win with them now. Since they're not nearly as overexposed as they once were, I feel like it's acceptable to cheer them on at this point. Got Golg here. We got a ton of Pigback Riders, Noblars, 1 Lead Belcher, 2 Flingers. I love Noblar Flingers. I like them more than Trappers, truth be told. Noblar Trappers have a time and a place, but I feel like the Flingers are a little bit more versatile, and they're 200 gold less. The Vanguard deploy on Trappers is really not that useful to begin with. And at 500 gold, they can be a little expensive. They're good for, like, ambushes and stuff, I guess. Some Ogre Bulls with the dual weapons, and then 2 Iron Guts. I talked about it on stream last time, but don't bring Iron Guts because they just simply aren't your best option for a heavily armored anti-infantry piece. What you're really wanting are Golg's Man-Eaters. Not the guy himself, but the unit that's named after him. 16 model unit. They've got 110 armor or 120 armor or something crazy like that. I don't think they're any slower than the Iron Guts, and they have way better stats. Golg's Maneaters are a filthy strong unit. Iron Guts just are 500 gold cheaper, infinitely worse option. It's a little sad and unfortunate. I don't know how they fix Iron Guts, truth be told. I feel like they should just be, they should lose the bonus and just get better stats so they're a good generalist piece. That would be nice for the Ogre Kingdoms. Otherwise, just keep them on the bench. Flingers moving up. Golg also looking like he wants to go up to the number 3. Leadbelcher's about to feast here against the Kislev Warriors. Awesome shots coming down from them. I think the Flingers are going to be getting in position here to poke the Kislev Warriors, which is an awesome choice because low armor versus the little pebbles will actually rack up some pretty respectable value killing these lightly armored halberds. Let's see him coming in here. It's a pretty insulting way to die if you think about it. These disgusting little goblin, or honestly not even goblins. Lower than that. Goblin rejects. Peppering you to death from, you know, 150 meters away, give or take. Very sad state of affairs for Kislev here. Losing one already, and the other one's going to go down fairly fast. The best thing that Roderick could do is just pull back and respect the Ogre Kingdom's space for the time being. It's going to be really hard to get in here with what you have available to you. You just have to get your Frostworms out in the field. And then you need to get a Little Grom out. Kislev has to bring Little Grom against the Ogre Kingdoms. It's the only way that I've found a way to force the Ogre Kingdoms out of position, because otherwise, Ogre Kingdoms can just sit back and pepper you endlessly with the Leadbelchers, Scrap Launchers, Iron Blasters even can be decent against Kislev. They have so many options to force you out of position with all your other units. Gotta watch spacing. So the reason that this is going to be a disaster for Kislev is just because Leadbelcher's projectiles penetrate through units so much. They're going to just cleave through all of these models and stack damage on every single one of the units present here. Especially against factions like the Ogre Kingdoms, you have to be mindful of your unit spacing. Because you need the concaves so that nothing can get shut down by a single unit. You also need to spread them out so the damage from these really crazy, powerful missiles is mitigated as much as possible. It's still going to be pretty tough to clear them. Frostworms in a little death blob together, not really where you would like to see them fighting. You need to use your single entities to get into the back line. You need to take advantage of the fact that your opponent doesn't have ITP back here to force terror routes on the Noblars. Fighting them in the front line is just not really going to equal out well for you because you're not killing a whole lot, and your opponent's going to be able to replace with high mass units to just slowly push back your monsters. As is happening right now, you can see the Maneater Great Weapons come in, kind of scare this unit off. You're going to have Iron Guts and some Pigback Riders, or just regular Noblars here, actually. But nonetheless can just shut down the Armored Kossar, and then you can get the Great Weapons to continue the pursuit. And then you've got these guys occupied, and the Flingers can kind of poke them down. It's another nice thing about it. Ogres, big models come in, break the shields that these guys have available, and 80 armor, you know, decent amount of damage mitigation, but not going to save them. Now the Frostworms having to jump back out there and continuing to have to fight 300 gold units. Very, very rough. Warbear Riders doing some good work, cleaning up some Ogre Bull dual weapons. You got a ton of Pigbacks occupied on one unit here. I know that battles can get really chaotic quickly, but just leaving one Pigback Rider to fight here and just leaving the other two to eat pistol fire from the Armored Kossars really wouldn't be a bad idea. Using that bronze shield at the very least to soak up their ammo means that they'll be a lot easier to engage on later with higher quality units. And all the while you'll be able to hang on to this point and not take so much extra damage. It's not a big deal because you got this other fight so well in hand. This has obviously been where most of your micro is focused, and with good reason. It's just something to consider for the future, where if you have like an extra second, just getting those guys out of combat and posting them up elsewhere, or using them to charge after the Warbear Riders and just force them to maneuver elsewhere. I'm kind of doing you a favor by actually jumping into that blob with them. Great weapons, a little occupied with the summoned Snow Leopard, but it's not going to stick around a whole lot longer. It's probably going to die anyways. Actually ends up routing. Back here, Frostworm gets stuck in the Maneater Great Weapons, who do get about 650 value fighting against it. They're going to team up with their boys here. They don't have any easy access to healing. The only way you're going to be able to heal those guys up is with the Tier 3 army ability, but that is always an option. I don't know if Golg has Deadeye, but this is a pretty good opportunity to smack the Ice Witch with it. Could definitely do some pretty respectable work against her. Ice Witch kind of brought the wrong lore of magic. Ice Maiden's Kiss is fine. It does good damage to Noblars, but just use Hawks of Miska. It's not even important to use Hawks of Miska to do damage to these Noblars, even though it does good damage. Really, the only thing you need is the Discourage effect that Hawks of Miska provides. I can go and show it off even, just for the side-by-side comparison. It's a minus 16 debuff. This lasts for 21 seconds, and then the Discourage that gets imbued is 21 seconds long. And this gets refreshed every single time that a damage tick happens. Really, it lasts about 40 seconds, which is really disgusting. If a unit gets hit the entire time, there's almost no way they'll be able to survive if your Frostworms are near them. You have to maneuver and take advantage of the terror-causing effect you have here. It's really the only thing that you can reliably utilize against the Ogre Kingdoms to kind of break them up, and then open up opportunities to kill all the dual weapons and whatnot. Because if you let Noblars stick around on the battlefield, and they get underneath Iron Guts and Man-Eaters and the just the standard dual weapon bulls, as I mentioned, that's where they just grind through anything. It really is one of the nastiest combos in the game. That's one of the reasons why I do have a tremendous amount of respect for Ogre Kingdoms players, because while they are an incredibly strong faction, and oftentimes bordering on having some really OP stuff going on with them, they do require, as a baseline, really, like, solid competency and positioning. And, you know, Empire, thumbs up, you do a really good job of this. Just small things for you to consider for the future to keep your infantry around a little bit more. Maybe focus on moving away from using Iron Guts. They really just aren't strong. You can see that they haven't traded well this game. They don't specialize against infantry enough. They also don't do good enough damage against big targets that do attack them. They're just in this weird limbo where they're not good at anything right now. Always go with the Golg's Man-Eaters if you want to go for the armored anti-infantry. Patriarch gets stuck in the Powder Guts. Powder Guts are really funny. There's nothing better than dual-purpose units that actually are good at both sides of the combat coin. These guys have a stupidly powerful missile, 160 range, decent amount of ammo, or a lot of ammo at 20. I always forget that they have so much, man. Fast firing every 9 seconds, they thump. And then if anything engages them in a fight, they've got adaptive combat, or adaptive tactics that increases their combat stats. Up to 62 melee defense, get a little extra melee attack, and their stats are already pretty beefy. They're quick. Armor is the only thing that lets them down, but any kind of healing on 9200 HP is beautiful. They're fairly affordable in terms of their power level. They are an investment at 1900, but against quite a few factions, I recommend them, and this is a good matchup for them. They shred Frostworms. I've even seen them get flanks off on little Grom pieces, and the missile against little Grom is honestly even filthier, because that's a massive target for these guys to shoot at, and they'll pick little Grom to pieces in just 1 or 2 volleys oftentimes. Mournfang Cav in here, always a good option, good reserve piece that you can call out to deal with heavy Cav. It's usually one of the things that people are very reliant on, oftentimes because of a lack of other options, but the heavy Cav for Kislev is actually pretty good against anything short of the Mournfangs, just because of all the light armor on a lot of the Ogre Kingdom units. Like Lead Belchers only have 50, Powder Guts only have 40. Dual Weapon Bulls have 30, I think. Noblars all have 15, outside of the Piggyback Knights who have a little bit more as an ROR. But Griffin Legion and Winged Lancers can really hit against all of that, is what I'm trying to say. And the Mournfang Cavalry give you a little bit of a buffer, so that you can occupy a few of them in melee and then shoot all the other ones to pieces with your ranged units, which are just absolutely bonkers. More Mournfang Cavalry getting up into Dervishes. This is where they can really thump. Against Winged Lancers, your Mournfangs will do good damage, but they'll shred through Dervishes. You can see how much HP damage they've done already. It's that 120 weapon strength and the lack of any kind of armor on the Dervishes. Most of this is AP, yeah, but the base weapon damage also hitting the Dervishes is what means that they can just kill models outright on these poor little guys. See, Purple Son of Xerius coming down from the Death Mage. I can't think of a nastier combo than a high-value infantry unit. Monstrous infantry unit, too, that your opponent has seemingly made a mistake with by sending into your halberds. So you bunch up on them, and then your opponent's caster just deletes 1,000 gold's worth of infantry. Honestly, that's kind of a backbreaking moment. I mean, it really is down to the dregs for both sides, but with the security on the #1 now from that Purple Sun, I don't think Kislev has a chance. I mean, they need the double cap, and they're struggling to hold their home objective as it is. If those halberds had time to grind, I mean, they could have gotten enough value to at least make it possible for Kislev to get in this game.
One of your units has been destroyed.
That's an awesome play, dude. I'm glad I caught that, too. Almost missed it. I think we can fast forward through this one.
Woeful tidings.
I've really got to give it up to Roderick, because honestly, a lot of the early engagements were really rough for Kislev. But he did a great job of hanging on in this game. I feel like with maybe just a little bit of a cleaner build, definitely include Grom or use your Tempest Magic instead of Ice Magic, we could see a very different game. Akshina Ambushers coming in. They've got pretty good value. I think they came out on the other side of the battle earlier. Maybe ground some value out. The Streltsy up here, 2,200. Actually helped finish off the caster there. Or a caster actually is broken, it looks like. Or shattered, rather. About to get shot down, but turning over to Golg instead now. Just finishing him off is a good idea. Golg has gotten 1,100 value. He's just so hard for factions to kill. He's got great armor. Amazing leadership, honestly, at 85. He's got ITP, so he doesn't break from any terror-causing units. He's even got an ability that bucks him up when he's fighting against terror-causing stuff. Deadeye and a crazy good heal with the Bugman's Brew. If you get one of these off, that's good. If you get 2 Bugmans off in a game, he's basically heal-capped himself, if he doesn't outright. Horse Archers have been used really well. I mean, 1,300 on this bad boy here. Excellent showing out of those guys. Maybe a little bit more Horse Archer poke could work. Because, again, light armor on a lot of the Ogre Kingdom stuff, and Horse Archers can just maneuver around behind other engagements to sit safely and poke into backline positions oftentimes. Opponent can have, like, units on the blue lines here. You've got some units on the red that are, like, engaging, and then the horse archers are just right behind that, and they can either throw damage on your enemy infantry or anything else behind them. Weird audio overlapping, Jesus Christ. Missiles were going crazy this game for Kislev. 1100 on these Kossars. One of the other horse archers didn't do as well. Bear Cab did okay. I do like having a singular Warbear Rider against the Ogre Kingdoms. It's just way too much infantry in the back line. You need to be able to get after stuff like the Powder Guts and the Lead Belchers if you're going to beat the Ogre Kingdoms. So if you're going to go for this much infantry, Little Grom, pretty please. You can just cut 2 of the Armored Kossars and get one in there. It'll make a world of difference, I promise you. It's the best artillery, single entity artillery piece in the game. Little Grom just destroys the Ogre Kingdoms by itself. I stand by it, AI. Bordering on having broken stuff. Yeah, the biggest problem with the Ogre Kingdoms is their knockdown stuff. That's the problem, guys. It really isn't that the units themselves are overpowered. It's just that they never fall over and they're always doing damage. So they end up overperforming oftentimes. If they got knocked over like everybody else, you wouldn't have the same complaints about the Ogre Kingdoms. It is kind of... You do actually take Pigback Riders in the Dwarf matchup because of their shield. That is true. It's really funny. I don't know how you balance the Riders out. The knockdown animation would help, but I don't think it's gonna affect them too terribly. They'll still ignore it for the most part. It's the tankiness that helps them out. The Lead Belchers are really awful if you don't have artillery. Yeah, Corn against Ogre Kingdoms can be really rough. The best thing you can do as Corn against Ogres is to rush them with Minotaurs. And Corn Gores, and then just a ton of basic Marauders, and Cultists on horseback. Double Corn Cultist against Ogre Kingdoms is just really hard for the Ogres to deal with. They actually don't have very good answers for the Corn Cultists. That's more of a problem with the Slayers. Slayers having no armor is the biggest part of that equation. They just can't get charged by anything. Slayers have to countercharge, and that's really hard because of how slow they are. It gets pretty ugly. That's all the replays I'm going to do for this, by the way, guys. Because I actually wanted to show off something else today. Give me a second to get it to load up. Here we go. This is a free demo for a game that I'm stupidly excited for. The game doesn't come out for another like 4 or 5 months, I think. But this is a loaded demo, and they actually patched the demo today. They added a difficulty slider for the actual operation. They added a new vehicle for one of your squad leads. So you have like a walker now, which is pretty sick. You can put all kinds of fun stuff on this. The autocannon is a new weapon for the vehicles. And they added a couple of different mission modifiers. Anyways, this is Menace. If you've ever played Battle Brothers, this is by the same studio, Overhype. And this game kicks ass, guys. So I just wanted to kind of play through an operation with y'all and pump up the jam on it. So I have played through one of these campaigns already. I'm going to be trying out the Walker because it seems really interesting. You start out with 6 squad leads. You can increase the number of people in their squad. The little buttons here. You have to pay for all of their equipment. It comes in pieces. The infantry special is just the 20 supplies. They don't all get the machine gun. Just the squad can use it as one of their abilities. You have to pay for all of the armor if you put any on these guys. So once you start adding equipment to your squads, they get pricey really fast. You can just plan a mission here. And you can see that each mission you have a certain amount of supplies that you can utilize. It gives you all the squad prices here and how much you're spending on each one of them. I actually had some ideas for these guys. You've also got the way the squad leads work. They all come with a specific skill for each one at base. Like this squad leader gets minus 10% supply costs on her squad, so it's really nice to kit her guys out with, like, the most expensive stuff. Saves you a lot of headache. Nice long-range weapon. You get promotion points, so you can throw those down on your guys here. They all cost about 20, except for on this guy here. His specialty is that promotions are 30% cheaper, so it's only 14 to get him up as opposed to 20 on everybody else. And they all kind of specialize in a different role. Pike Squad never wavers. They go up to neutral HP if they go below a certain point. Cheaper equipment, obviously. More defenses at close range. This guy's pretty wild with the SMGs on his squad. We're actually going to kit him out for that, because I kind of want to rip and run with them this time. This is the squad lead I probably built the least around. But there's a lot you can do. Each skill tree is unique to these guys, and this is just a small taste of what the future is going to look like for options in this regard. Got all these other slots. I don't know if you'll use all of them at any point in the campaign when the game actually releases. These are just the 6 squad leads that you get to start off with here. We might get more in the future, though, because the fact that they actually put new stuff into the demo is kind of wild to me. I really wasn't expecting that. For weapons here. I'm actually thinking of keeping some of my guys fairly lightly equipped. Well, I guess there's really no reason to. They increase the number of supplies that you can throw on all your guys. Not sure how I want to armor them up. I think this will work. Have our sniper squad be lightly armored. It's not really that big a deal. We also got new other stuff. Previously, all you could bring was the ammo bag, explosives, smokes, and frags, and then the bots here and the adrenaline stems. I actually know what I want to bring here. This could be pretty nice. Designator marks infantry squad, vehicle, or building for 2 rounds, even when it moves out of sight. Guided weapons and off-map assets can only fire on marked targets, so that's going to be something new. I haven't seen any of that yet. Dude, when this game releases, it's going to go so crazy, because it's already a good game as is. It seems like they have so much more to add on to all of this. We'll bring the autocannon. I'm kind of curious how it is. This overview map is enemy positions. You can see some of the enemy assets that we're going to be facing up against here. You have an intel level. There's going to be a whole strategic layer that you don't have access to yet. your intelligence level is going to fluctuate over the course of time. It's going to give you more info or less, depending on what you have access to. For now, we're going to give... I actually don't know if we're going to buffer up. Let's work on this guy, actually. And we're going to go for cloak on this guy because I'm really curious to see how the stealth mechanics work. I haven't played around with him a whole lot, so I'm not 100% sure on what the best build order for him is. I've got some other pretty good stuff. Go for this on our boy here. Lim is just going to run and gun for us. Get him the arc rifle so he can fight at long range and give him the HMG. Do we have enough? No, we don't have enough for any more promotions, so we'll just get the rest of our guys out. That'll be nice for him. Disposable AT, just to keep it around. Could pay for the actual rocket launcher, but I think I want to kit my guys up a little bit more across the board. Give them all, give a couple of them an extra squad or two. For the ones that are going to do all the front lining. Suppression, drugs, and smoke grenades for him. Ammunition bags. Give vehicle smokes over too. There's so many things that you can outfit your stuff with, or outfit your squaddies with. Get this and probably frag grenades for her. Still got 89 supplies that we can play around with. I don't know if I want to do anything else. Maybe put another person in the squad. I think I can put her. I guess we'll just put the rocket launcher. He'll just be AT team. He'll just go crazy. I don't think there's anything we're missing, so we can kick it off, and this is what the actual battles look like.
Hero 311 has landed and continuing on.
Very XCOM-like.
Keep it tight by the blinks.
And the way the turns work is there's not an actual... It's not like an enemy phase and then a movement phase for you. They actually play out simultaneously somewhat. Like, you'll move a unit, the enemy will move one around, kind of. It just kind of depends on the initiative of each squad. It changes over the course of the game. It's a really cool blended system. It's a little funky at times, I would say.
Orders?
Generally speaking, you can figure out the pace of combat once you play a few rounds.
Eyes open.
And have a pretty good idea of how you need to play.
Waypoint.
You need to be really careful in this game with where you position your units. Because the way that combat shakes out is fast and crazy deadly. So if you maneuver a unit forward too aggressively, and they end up in a position where they take a decent amount of fire from an enemy, the whole squad can get wiped out in one round. Very, very easily. Probably gonna play fairly safely. What's the armor on this thing? It's got pretty decent armor. Oh, and when you can't select units and then use some of their AP and then swap over to another. You have to use all the AP on a unit once you've selected them and given them an order.
Orders?
Yeah?
You do need to be a little bit discerning about when and where you're maneuvering your forces for that reason. just gonna take up a defensive position for the time being. Let's get these guys out here behind this rock formation so they have some cover. The one thing that I would like to see a little bit more info on, just from a tooltip perspective, is what the effects of your cover are actually doing for you. Because it's a little bit indeterminate right now, I would say.
Sir.
It does not give you amazing feedback in that respect. Get these guys over here, I guess. Just chill up here. It's also kind of weird how sometimes you'll hover over areas that you would think have cover, and it says it's not providing you any. Like, I don't know why my guys aren't taking cover behind these crates, apparently. Here's the little Falcon. It's one of the best recon tools imaginable. It comes on its own little cooldown. It's got infinite number of uses as long as you have AP for it. You can reposition it anywhere within 10 tiles of the squad that you gave it to at the beginning of the game. So it's really nice to have out. It does so much in the early game to reveal the map for you and maybe give you an idea of where you either need to move to or just be aware of enemies moving up on you.
What?
I have no idea where the pirates are at right now. Just trying to scout them out. I have no idea where they're hiding. Honestly, might just end turn, because I just want to pull them out. I want to know where they're at before I go running off into the fog of war, but maybe we just need to be a little bit braver about this.
Sure.
Get these guys out on this side. Kind of reminds you of CRV. Oh, of Civ. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like that. I don't know. It's like a XCOM-ish type of clone, I guess. But it's got some fairly unique mechanics that XCOM doesn't really even go for.
Major.
One of the cooler things about this is that your units go into combat with an amount of supplies. You can use up all the ammo in their guns, and they won't be able to actually fight anymore. I haven't run into any missions where that's been like a big problem, except for the vehicles.
Sir.
But that's a little bit balanced around the fact that the vehicles are crazy strong in this game. Oh my goodness. Some of the vehicle weapons will wipe out a squad with just one accurate volley. It's really vicious.
Orders.
I guess we gotta go. Run around, and scare up some contact. Strong vibes down there of there being baddies, so I think we'll reposition our guys to come scout over here a little bit. I think. We'll get around this big radar dome, I guess. And get up into the rocks over here and kind of pinch down the length of the map.
Lock it in. Eyes open.
Need to be really careful with their squad because these guys don't actually have any armor.
Eyes and ears.
So we'll just rotate around behind to stay a little bit safe.
Being agile.
What?
This also gives me Jagged Alliance vibes. That's the game that it reminded me of.
Sir.
Because it's got voice acting for all of the squad leads, which is really awesome. It gives a lot of depth and helps a lot with the immersion to hear these guys all talking with one another. And they've got a lot of like in-game barks. And they're very talkative people. Some of them can't keep their mouth shut for more than like 5 seconds. Honestly.
Going.
So it makes for a pretty lively time. We'll just have our heavily armored squad and the walker kind of roam around out here, see if we can find any of the enemies.
Yeah?
They can always retreat
Yeah.
in good order. I don't even know if there's anything over here.
Major?
There are actually enemies on the map, guys, I promise. The enemy AI is also really well programmed. They're very evasive if they feel like they can't equal up to you in a fight.
What?
They'll try and, like, suck you into areas where they can
Engines
bunch up on you and rip apart your heavily armored stuff.
You're out here. Ain't nobody gone to ground yet.
Yeah. Being agile.
You sure that intel's good, Major?
Buddy, I think it's good.
You bet.
Sir!
This is crazy open ground over here.
Really?
Up for it!
Oh, here they are. All the way back here, man. I'm gonna need to
Attention,
pull back a
moving to
little
cover.
bit. Alright, here's where I can show off some combat, finally. So, see, there's a little question mark tile over here, right? Like, that's where the enemy is. We just saw them, right? You don't have to respect the fact that you can't see them anymore. I'm one tile away from firing. Oh my god. If you can see the little question mark, if it's in your range, you can just fire ground. And it does work to help clear out enemies. I've had a lot of success using that with some of the heavier weapons. We wasted some AP here. So, it costs AP to deploy. That allows you to use some of the heavy weapons.
Orders?
You can't run around with some of these and just use them on the move. You have to actually deploy, set it up, and then you get to fire it. But there's plenty that don't require that. There's a light machine gun in the demo that doesn't need it. And the grenade launcher that I have on this squad way out here, which I can't do anything with right now, can also utilize a special weapon while they're moving. By the by, the general rule of thumb for the weapons is they always fire at 40 AP, and then your abilities are 20, give or take, like smoke grenades, frag grenades, everything like that is usually 20 AP in order to use it.
Yep.
The only thing that increases your AP between movement is whether you're just moving in a straight line or not. Like, if you're going forward in a straight line, it's 20 AP. Every time your unit has to pivot, it increases the amount of AP that it requires for them to move by 10. So, I'm pretty sure there's a few skills that will be included to lower those costs so that you have squads that can move around a little bit faster. But it's very consistent, so there's very little frustration with actually interacting with the squad movement that I've been doing so far.
Sir!
Where the hell are all the
Orders?
pirates, man?
Sir!
Orders?
Sir!
We're gonna get Pike Ford again. And the pirates moved over, so now we can actually light these guys up, yeah?
Someone else look!
So, the gun damage in this game can be very devastating, but the thing that it's contingent upon is not just accuracy and how far away you are, but each of the guns and the loadouts that you can give your guys has wildly varying stats. I mean, it ranges from damage fall off beginning like immediately upon the next square over from the squad to a weapon like this, which actually only gets damage drop off after I think the first 3 tiles. Yeah, the first 3 tiles, and then it starts to have damage drop off. So shooting into unarmored targets, with just about anything, you usually have a pretty good odds-on chance of getting kills. But these guys actually look like they have a little bit of armor on. You can see the armor value in the lower window there. They've got 30 compared to the AP on this assault rifle, so it's not very good at penetrating through armor. It's a silenced weapon, so it's really intended for concealed squads to kind of intimidate people.
Ah, fuck! Orders?
Orders?
They're not happy about coming under fire. But you can see they kind of exchange shots as they choose to attack one another, so once you get into main combat, you'll see these little like exchanges between the squads constantly. It gives the battlefields a very, very fun atmosphere. You know, it genuinely feels like much more of a war-trodden zone than it otherwise might. So, we've got her deployed. That means we can use the sniper rifle now, and we can show off what that does. And you can see up here on the right side, it does a decent job of kind of breaking down and explaining what kind of quality shot you're getting. Full armor penetration means that it's guaranteed to go through and mess these guys up. And you can see that the weapons all have varying ranges, obviously. So carbine doesn't make it out there, but the sniper rifle, plenty of range to touch these guys. Yeah, it's AI, it's not another player. This game would be really cool if it were PvP. But yeah, it's just AI. It's really smart, though. And with how lethal the combat is in this game, you can fumble a squad away really fast, man. Alright, shut up, Lim. I'm doing it. So, we're just gonna take all these guys out.
We're just joking!
Alright, so the reason they disappeared there, actually, is because they've been fully suppressed. The unit's gone to ground, and that's reduced the sight profile that they have. So now they're hidden again, but again, if I had another squad that was in range, I could just run them up and just open up on this square and actually still do damage to the enemies. Just because I can't see them doesn't mean I can't touch them.
On our way!
Kind of deal.
What?
You don't do nearly as much damage to suppressed enemy units. But suppression is very important to play around in this game because it affects everything the squad does. A squad that's fully suppressed cannot shoot, they cannot use abilities, they can only crawl, which means if you get fully suppressed in a bad position, that squad's basically dead because they're not going to be able to escape out of the kill zone. So ambushes are a massive part of the game, which is why it's taken me so long to find the enemy. I didn't want to move up and get caught in like a wicked crossfire or anything, which has happened to me in the couple of other times that I've been messing around in this game. I'll talk about when it comes up, but when you give orders to your units, you don't actually need to be afraid that they're just going to move into that zone and then get killed by an enemy that they reveal. When your units are moving and they spot something, they actually stop their order and you can still allocate that AP to do something else. So if you move a tile and then see an enemy suddenly, you can either continue advancing forward, get closer and open up on them, or you can just pull back into cover and hide away a little bit. There's like nothing on these sides of the map, so I need to like reposition these guys all the way back over.
Get there yesterday.
We're gonna just go ahead and start on that. Probably use the let's actually use the recon bot real quick and do a little bit of scouting. We'll put it right here. Oh my god, where the hell are they all?
Sir!
Somehow we can still only find this one pirate here. I don't know what this guy was doing all the way out in the middle of nowhere, but very bad idea. I forgot to mention this When you deploy, the unit can't move until they undeploy, which costs another 20 AP. So if you settle a unit down, be sure that it's what you want to do, because it's no joke accidentally deploying something and then having to use another 20 AP to get them out of that position again. So, one more thing. With your basic infantry weapons, there's usually a long range and a short range option, and depending on what the weapon variant is, that changes. Like the unit over here with the SMGs gets a tap fire ability that increases the base range on the SMG, and the SMG normally just does like a spray and pray salvo, which is much better at short range. So check your tooltips for all the info on what these different loadouts do. Like this one has sustained fire. This is really good for suppression, a little bit more inaccurate. It's also shorter range. Damage drop-off is not affected though, as far as I know. Actually, oh, it is because they're firing so fast. I guess they're trying to compensate for that. Anyways. Kind of want to go for the kill on this enemy unit. I'd like to be able to move up my sniper as well. Well, I guess we're just going to do this. These guys are either going to die or they're going to be suppressed and they can't do anything.
They really hate us.
This does actually look like what's happened. See, our squatty is very angry. Just going to keep them down.
What?
The sound design is awesome here too. Another one of the standout aspects.
What?
Come on. Move back over, please. There's another enemy squad finally. Okay.
Yep. Orders.
So Lim out here is actually in concealment right now. You can see hovering over his little squad banner, the little the hidden eye with a slash through it. It means that this unit cannot see him yet. We can see these guys because of the Falcon Skybot reconning for us. There are bonuses for some abilities and squads that allow you to do more damage when you're in concealment. I don't think Lim has anything like that as far as I know. I'm still learning this as I go. This is just all the stuff that I have already figured out. We're going to deploy here and use the HMG. That way we can suppress these guys. Because they're out here in the open. This thing is like a guaranteed pin on a unit that's caught out of cover. It's going to make it much easier to close on them with some of my other squads. Plus, we don't really have a whole bunch of other people over here. I'm still going to maneuver all of my other squads to help. So we just don't want those guys involved while they finish the other squad off here, and then we can move over probably our sniper team. I'll talk about these on the side here and what they do later. There's not really a reason to use them right now. I still don't know how many other enemy units are on the field, so I'd like to keep a lid on those until I absolutely need it. What the hell is this? It's a new enemy type I haven't seen before. Pirate Outcasts. Okay, they're not heavily armored. It does look... they got some kind of scoped weapon. So I'm guessing they're a longer range squad, potentially, which could be scary for me. The reason I'm winning these fights over here right now is because I've gotten the first shots off and suppressed both of these squads, and I can just cut them up in the open at will. But my guys are out in the open, and a third squad complicates matters, because if they get into a position where they can just start poking at my units out in the open, they can do some serious damage against us. How far is the sniper rifle? It's actually, I think I just need to move over one more square here. We're going to deploy her, and we're going to get the sniper back online. This thing is so nice. You can zoom in and watch somebody get decked.
They're shooting us!
We're gonna stand her back up so she can move forward in a minute. What the hell was that? That was their special weapon. They got like a laser gun here. Holy crap. The enemy weaponry varies a lot. I haven't seen all of the different types yet. I mean, seriously, I downloaded the demo like 2 days ago. I played through one operation, and I watched the YouTube video that they released for the movement guides and some of the ins and out basics type of stuff, and then I just jumped in. And even in a basic-ass demo, the variety that is present is incredible. This is actually crazy replayable. And I mentioned it when I booted the game up, but they patched the demo, so they added more stuff in to play around with. Like yesterday when I was playing, there was no autocannon or walker, and now I get to mess around with that. They added more promotion points for your units. It seems like they raised the supply cap for the missions.
Who, sir?
So you can bring more stuff. But they also added more difficult missions as well. And there's a difficulty slider too, so I don't even know if I'm going to run out of stuff to do in the demo before the game comes out in like 4 months if they keep adding stuff on.
Move out!
Alright, we're going for the kill on these guys. They're like fully pinned basically. We're just going to walk over and we're just gonna... Somehow hanging on. That heavy armor is... Or the light armor on these guys is saving their ass. So you can see that's why the armor penetration values are so important. I mean, we're like danger close. Normally, this unit would just be dead. If they were as lightly armored as this other squad over here with the 10, they'd have gotten wiped out by that salvo from my my unit that's right next to them.
Acknowledged.
Really sad that the autocannon walker is a million miles away right now, because I think it would thump really nicely here.
Yep.
Orders?
Orders?
I don't actually know what happens if the Falcon gets destroyed, so I'm not even going to worry about it right now. I just kind of want to see. Worry about that later. Actually don't think I want to move here. So you can see that because the enemy squad here is in cover, lower accuracy, still at full armor penetration, which is nice. But suppression also decreases, but not by that much because we're on their flank a little bit. So it still pokes through on them pretty nicely. We could just focus on keeping these guys suppressed, but I think it's actually time to show something pretty cool off. You've got these call-ins here on the side. You got minigun strafing and then unguided missile strike.
Awaiting orders, Major.
Each of them functions fairly differently. We'll do the strafing run here. The way it works, select it on the side, click on a square, and based on however it describes what it does, like for example the minigun strafing, you can select 5 tiles in the initial around the initial strike area where the gun run is going to come in. So you can cover tiles that don't have enemies in it. Enemies don't necessarily know that the call-in is going on. They'll move into it and they can get wiped out by it. So we're going to click it here, and I'm going to use it to cover up the cover for this pirate squad that's moved in here. And we'll just fan out a little bit.
Fire mission underway.
Hedge our bets on where they may or may not be, and see if we can actually hit them with this, because it'll be devastating if it actually lands on them. It suppresses units instantly. And the unguided missile strike is pretty self-explanatory. You just select it, you place it down somewhere,
Coordinates received.
and it does just a massive amount of damage in a strike area. We can just go ahead and use it. I feel pretty confident that there's no like mega serious enemy squads out here, so I'm really not that fussed about it. We'll see if anything moves up over here. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all, like, pinned up here in the corner right now. Oh, yeah, this guy is moving forward, still out of range. Same with her. Finally finished off the enemies over here.
Listen up, we're moving.
Orders?
That should be good. She doesn't have armor, so can't really advance the squad forward. They're just gonna get killed here. It's not worth taking shots either. We'll do the designate target for now, because this will boost accuracy from other squads, which is gonna be really nice in a minute here. But does it buff her? Oh, it does buff her own accuracy too. So went from low accuracy to medium. Didn't hit anything.
What?
Yeah.
The sniper rifle is really strong at suppressing, but only if it hits enemy squad members. If you miss with the sniper, no suppression. But if it actually hits the squad, it will kill a model, and it'll force suppression out from the other ones, as they, like... I mean, anybody coming under sniper fire would immediately freak out, I would reckon. Can't be a very fun experience. Okay, so they're just opening up on me over here. Not really doing a whole lot of damage.
What?
These guys do have pretty decent armor on, so not a lot to fear here, obviously. I didn't know if this was going to be a really strong weapon or not, but it does seem to be pretty mediocre to actually do much of anything. Even with my guys standing out in the open. So, I'm not that fussed. By the way, the airstrikes don't come in instantly. They start out gray, and then you can see the bar filling up here, and the full color coming in. That's how you can tell how close it is to actually hitting home. I think when I end this turn, and both of the strikes should...
Fire mission underway.
Hoorah, Major!
A man could get addicted to seeing something like that.
So yeah, bye-bye enemy squad behind cover. They
Orders.
had absolutely no chance there. It's a little unsporting of me, honestly. We'll get her
Oscar
up and
Mike.
move forward. Still out of range, though. You can see the enemy range, too. It, like, kind of cuts off right here at the edge, so...
Yeah.
We'll just let her end her turn there. And I think we're going to push Lim in a little bit. I'm going to try and light this enemy squad up while they're pinned down.
Moving!
They just can't move while they're stuck up against the side of this mountain. I think there's actually an enemy vehicle over here. I keep seeing laser shots from something heavy caliber. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. See, they're pinned down again. They're wavering now, too, so their leadership is broken, and they're going to be a lot less effective in combat from now on. You can see the attrition and hit point, or that's armor and HP. I don't know where you see the leadership on your own squads, actually.
Who, sir?
No idea where this last enemy is. Shoot the skybots, so theoretically if I put myself here, I'm in range. We'll just stick here for now. See if anything happens.
Other Kutta there.
Maybe there are enemies up here or something. You see the missions can go on for pretty long, but I've been stopping and starting a lot. Oh my god.
Updating sit rep.
No! Holy crap, I thought I was safe. Dude just got vaporized. Yeah, there's a pirate laser truck. Oh my god. Okay, that sucks, dude. Poor guy's just dead and gone. Yeesh, okay. So we're gonna move the skybot. Send it up here for now. Over there. Open up with Lim.
Oh, this is real!
select these guys and get them behind the heavy cover here, because I do not want to get smacked by the laser again.
cover.
Look at that pile. Ew. Damn, buddy did not make it. Squatty Kid Boots is dead. R.I.P. in pepperoni, buddy.
Yep.
You'll be missed. But, I mean, that's a pretty good demonstration of how lethal shots can be. Your dudes will just straight up die if they get hit by something heavy enough. This game is pretty merciless.
They're faster going out than coming in. Yeah?
Alright, so we got them suppressed now.
On it.
Still moving people from across the freaking map. Any way to get...
Moving to
Just
waypoint.
get in position here. Let's see if we can finish these guys off. God, they're hanging in there, dude. I really just might walk over here. The auto cannon, I would feel pretty comfortable with applying to this thing. Medium accuracy. Oh, we're in range with the AT, so we're gonna launch the actual decent rocket against this thing. How much does the accuracy go up? Much. Okay.
Rockets free. Hardware neutralized.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Yep.
Alright, we got our revenge, so we can move on from here. This squad's gonna die, so I don't even need to use Cody here to do anything about that. Just have to limit on these guys, obviously.
Nice work. Yeah? Orders?
What? Armor detail on duty.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Where's the last enemy unit? Oh my god. Hiding in the back here? No.
Let's do this.
What?
Way up in the corner here. Some of the missions can drag like this. This is one of the minor complaints that I have. It is what it is, I guess.
Sir.
I think it would be nice if they implemented like a, especially when you're getting up to these higher rounds and you're basically in cleanup mode, like a little noise indicator or intel ping that tells you, hey, look over here, you know. XCOM has that, and it helps speed up the rounds in that game, especially towards the end game where you might just be on a map and you have to kill all the enemies. It can be a little annoying going goose hunting for the one random guy in the corner of the map. Oh, there's the one random guy in the corner of the map. Okay. We'll bring the we're gonna bring the bot back. We know they're over here, so I don't want to let it get shot to bits. Have you go to space.
All right.
Come up over here.
Yeah.
Sir.
Just have everybody move in now. It should be fairly easy to deal with this squad.
What?
They can't really come out of their corner without getting engaged by us at this point.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of moving in and not allowing them to get the first strike off on us.
Go. Go. Grenade! It's not worth it to them.
That was vile. Grenade launcher goes crazy.
Orders.
Well, we just killed 2 of the squad members for those pirates, so they're not having a very good time currently. Much longer now. Not in range. We'll move up here and deploy her so I can use the sniper in a minute. Although I will say, I desperately want to use the autocannon on these guys. We are actually in range for the next turn, so just keep them suppressed for now. Seems like maybe the grenade launcher is stronger. Because I was using it the other day and it did not feel like this. It would kill like maybe one guy. This is like shredding the entire squad almost.
Orders? Orders?
Could shoot them. But we're gonna finish this ceremoniously with the autocannon because I haven't gotten to play with this yet. Very curious to see what it's gonna do.
Make them pencil pushers proud.
Yeah, you can see there's dismemberment in the game. So, buddies are not feeling it. There's some more. Already swept the area, bro. What? There's another one hiding in the corner over here. Oh my god, please. Have mercy on me.
Sir, on task. Moving.
We're gonna get all our guys and just move as quickly as possible over there to kill them.
Yep. Moving.
It would be nice if you can queue up multi-turn orders for the end as well.
Move out.
Just have your guys all moving around, maybe an auto explorer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to make the end game go a little bit quicker.
Sir.
This is the slowest mission I've played, though. I'm gonna be honest. Most of the other missions have been very aggro. I mean, actively chaotic and hellish.
Yeah.
This is probably the cleanest op that I've had so far.
Move it, Marines.
Honestly, can't account for that.
Armor detail on
This
duty.
is a little unnerving, truth be told.
Hoofing it.
A lot of the other missions I've played have been absolute slogs
On
in
it.
terms of the casualties I've taken.
Orders. Moving.
Because I've game overed in 2 operations.
Acknowledged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get there yesterday.
Oh,
Eyes
here
on
they
the
are.
enemy.
Okay, hopefully they don't smack the shit out of me.
Sir.
Yeah, they're running away. That's probably why we haven't been able to find them, is because they're
Listen
moving
up,
around
we're
so
moving.
much.
Let's do this.
Alright, let's go intercept
What?
them. Autocannon from downtown. Oh my god.
Only I was in my ship.
Dude, this thing is a thumper. That is
Yep.
honestly terrifying. That's a feels bad moment, man.
Go! Go!
Pulling out for our boys pinned down and under
Flank them now.
do have to get clean too.
On task.
Do this so that we're as possible.
Impressive shooting, Marine.
Solid work.
Come on, do I still have to go hunting for these
Orders.
dudes?
On our way.
It'd also be nice if it would actually say how much of the enemy force is remaining instead of just this vague bar.
I can kill
Some
from
percentages would be nice.
Yeah.
But maybe
Move
that'll
it.
come with like the intel
Waiting
levels
on
and
you.
stuff. What the fuck? A rocket truck? Oh my god. Okay, these rocket trucks are terrifying, by
Yeah.
the way. I've
Sir.
had squads wiped by them before, so...
Sit rep. Scavengers.
That's an instance where you can see the move orders don't screw you over. If you move and then reveal an enemy, you stop. So instead of ending up out in the open, where these pirate scavengers would probably just shoot the squad to bits,
Attention.
I
Moving
use
to cover.
my AP the way I want to and go behind some cover. So this
Get
game
there
is
yesterday.
tough, but it does not punish you unfairly. And I've really got to give it up to them for
On
that
our
because
way.
I'll tell you, a lot of games like XCOM will just say, "Oh, and you spotted an enemy during your movement phase." Any
Sir.
right-minded individual would stop and maybe assess the situation.
What?
Sorry, bro. Full blast right into a room full of enemies, and your guy's gonna die. Sorry.
All right.
Game here.
There's a lot of enemies in this corner. What the frick? Oh my god. I'm kind of scared, honestly.
Fixing myself
Alright,
there.
we're gonna get up in here, though. And get ready to rumble.
Yeah?
It's not like these are high quality. I'm kind of wishing that I had my freaking call-ins now, though, because
Move it,
those would do a lot of work in this tight little space here. I don't have access to that now, though.
Sir.
Can't get out here. I need my autocannon
Go, go.
vehicle to get
Sir.
back into this.
Move up.
I'm gonna move up over here. This might be too clustered. Oh my god.
Let's get them some help.
Okay, we got really lucky to not get lit up by that stupid, rocket truck. I was really seeing my life flash before my eyes. So, question mark, just shoot into them, and I don't think the enemies are there, though. It's worth it sometimes to shoot at unknown spots if your unit can't actually see the tile, because sometimes they'll still be there. Usually you can make a pretty educated guess, and it'll pay off some dividends for you. Still can't reach.
Listen up. We're moving.
So the rocket truck opened up on us. It's got to spend a turn reloading, so we need to just ratchet up our movement quick now. Okay, and that's got cover.
Move into cover.
So we'll move over here for the time being. And we can use this to get our suppression back. And you can move again. No way. Okay. Wow. It's actually super cool. Thank you. We know the enemy can shoot through here, so I'm gonna smoke this area off. Smokes are very strong. They do so much work for you. So we're gonna get these two squads in a position where our enemies can't really see us, because can't see through fog. The enemies do react accordingly. It's not like in a lot of games where they just cheat and they see through it anyways. I've actually noticed that the enemy does respect the arrangement, so to speak.
What?
Yeah?
Crazy, there was another squad. I know there was. Still can't hit.
On task.
We're gonna move these guys up into this smoke as well.
Yeah.
See what we can do from there. Don't know how I want to advance here.
Yeah.
There they are. Okay. Damn, they're so close. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, they could actually shoot us this turn, I think. Yeah, we can hit them from here.
What?
What's the range on the autocannon? I just need 2 more spaces. Might as well do 3 though. Won't get an extra shot if I'm only moving up just in range. I don't know if we'll hit.
Kill them all.
Sure as hell did. Devastated them.
Yeah.
Can't shoot grenades, but we can still get accurate shots, so we're just gonna shoot these guys down here.
Synergize and flank.
Alright, didn't finish them.
Orders.
Move up on tile. Limb.
Moving.
Just we'll leave them here for the time being. Oh,
Taking casualties, Major.
this frickin' rocket truck, dude. It's going crazy over here. gonna do any damage to this thing. I'm just gonna take the shots at the enemies that are actually out right now.
Keep it up.
This is definitely gonna be my best bet. We'll deploy so that they get down into position. Oh, there's a bunch of guys in return fire.
That used to be me.
The rocket almost got Buddy over here.
Sir. Move out.
I think we gotta take this shot. We actually hit it. Holy crap! You can see when the when vehicles get hit,
What?
especially by stuff that actually pins their armor,
Make
they
sure mission
suffer.
set and ready for exfiltration.
Oh, cool. Nice. Anyways, you can see that they actually suffer, like, critical effects. So, like, weapon systems get disabled, there are fires, crew can get stunned, I'm pretty sure. I saw that in one of the missions that I played through. It's pretty awesome. A rocket flamethrower. Yeah. Why the hell would I take anything else? So yeah, our number of rounds was abysmal. That's fine by me, though. So we kind of slapped them up here. We get 10% more supply points for the rest of the operation, too, which is really nice. It sucks to have lost a couple of squaddies, but that gives you a pretty good idea of what outcomes look like. It's pretty hard to get through missions without losing people. All it takes is one momentary slip up, and you're losing guys left and right. Was lost someone? I don't think any. Oh yeah, we did lose in the squad. It's okay though, I'm not super fussed about it. I don't think we need to replace or anything. Got enough points for promotions. We're gonna do Counter-Strike. It's really strong because it automatically returns fire on enemy units that is shooting at you, which is aces. It's really strong. We'll keep her on the autocannon for the time being. I want to test it out again. Would love to see it in action against vehicles. Could actually do some good work. Walker is about the same. More expensive with all the goodies on it. We did get a really cool new item, so we're gonna throw that on our boy here. He's gonna have a disposable flamethrower rocket, and then also the AT rocket. And we're just gonna let him go to town with that. Should be great. Should be awesome. So, on the operations layer, you can usually pick. Well, I do actually get to pick between the two missions. So we can either rescue authorities or we can go clear IEDs. I've done this mission before, so I'm gonna rescue authorities here. And it gives you the objectives, shows you the rewards, and then a completion reward as well. So this high leverage you get no matter what. The other one you pick between multiple items. It's pretty nice, but yeah, we'll stick with this. I want to see what this mission looks like. I am intrigued. So Let's rescue the administration head, and then the governor and the police chief are back here. Doesn't show a lot of pirates to worry about. Yeah, actually pay attention to the intel this time. Last time I was just kind of dozing through the mission. So many supplies to utilize. It's unfamiliar territory for me. There's not really anything else to give my guys though, unless I get more equipment. Don't have any weapons. I could increase the squad sizes, I guess. Is that really something I want to do though? I guess on Pike it'll be nice. He's one of my more heavily armored squads. We'll keep him at 4. We'll just run everybody as is. We'll give Griefinger another guy. See if that helps him with the aggro.
103rd won't be heard.
Ready, Major.
Oh yeah,
Sir.
Orders?
that's a good sign.
Lock it in.
Yep. Orders?
We will throw the Falcon out here, just to get a little peek first. One of the objective zones is really close. It does actually pay off, because we can see our first enemy here. Some pirate scavengers are just chilling over here. They're crappy weapons and looks like a homemade RPG, basically.
TCR's best.
What?
There's another one here. There's the range system that far. Okay. I have a bad initial deployment on my vehicle. I have to waste a turn moving around, but there you go. Pay attention to where you're placing your units in the initial phase, because it can be really annoying if they are not really able to do anything, because they're just sitting there, blocked in by terrain pieces. And they have to walk all the way around it. We're gonna move up on this side for now.
Yeah.
The enemy will be able to spot us now. Wouldn't be surprised if they move up and try to get one of these guys on target. Apparently not, though. They're gonna pull back. How far do I need to be? 2 more squares. Move up to 3. Oh, I'm still out of range. No. Okay.
Kiss my ass!
That was good damage. And you see they're wavering, suppressed a little bit, which means that they're deployed now, so they lose AP. Or they have to stand up if they want to move, so they lose AP that way. Does mean that they auto-deploy their heavy weapons and they can fire back, but since they're suppressed, they take an accuracy penalty, and I believe that they also... I don't know what else happens. I can't remember if that makes them more vulnerable to future volleys for suppression. I feel like it does, but there's nothing that says that. It may just be me making shit up. Regardless, this is a really nice first round of combat. Love to be able to just rush in from here and take these guys down. It's a long way to go, though, right? See, just all this space here. How do you approach? You can see that your units have a little bit of trouble moving in smoke. You can't, like, give them too many orders to move forward. And it also, like, shrouds how much AP you're using. It's kind of interesting, though. These guys are out of AP since they threw the smoke grenade. Scavengers are going to move up. They're not really in a good position, though. We should be able to light them up from here.
Bud, stay down.
They are trying to kill my little recon bot, though. I think I can get in and save it, though. How far away am I? Oh, way too far. I don't think we can get in range of that thing either. Okay, we're gonna bot away. No, thank you. Please don't kill my bot. We're gonna go hide behind the walker for a minute. Still can't reach. That's okay though.
Yeah. Let's see what you got.
Ooh, there's another enemy squad here. There's a lot of pirates over here. We are gonna call our
Fire mission
strafing run
underway.
in on this little hotspot area and move from there. A little scary. We'll get her in the smoke here and should be fine.
Hustle 103rd.
Just gonna move up and deploy into cover, and we'll have the sniper next turn. Pike, I don't know, Pike. Drop trowel and take a dump or something, bro. There's not really much for this guy to do.
Move out!
I guess we'll get him in the smoke as well, and just get ready and in position for our next turn, where we can maybe break out a little bit here and get some more business going. Strafing run's about to come in as well. That should help us a lot with suppressing the enemies that are in these two positions. So another squad here still. We'll get one more closer so we get more accurate volley. We're gonna hit the guys that are not already engaged in combat. Didn't get nearly as much damage as the last one, but nonetheless does a little bit of damage and gets them a little bit more fearful of us. You know, they gotta respect the moves. Oh my god, okay. So I just got smacked in the face by an RPG, which is not good. Now our walker is engine damaged. R.I.P. man. Yeah, even when you've done damage to enemies, you have to respect the fact that they can always return fire. Even if they're not necessarily the most accurate. We got a kill there and suppress those guys. Strafing run, please. Oh, they're serious about this. They're gonna stand and fight. There's another squad moving in over here. You can see. They're very reactive. These guys came all the way from the other objective zone, probably.
Yeah.
Which definitely got me a little bit worried. Shit out of the fog here. No, poor accuracy. Fog effect, or the smoke affects you as much as it does the enemy, so you need to plan around that. I think just a close range volley here is the best thing to do. We're gonna deploy. Deploy does give you a little bit of cover out in the open. It's not much, but it's something.
Come on.
Oh my god, and they're gonna
We have to get the heat off them.
return fire now. It's only one shot though. It's not that bad. Still waiting for this freaking fire support. I moved in a little early. I haven't gotten punished for it really. My walker is still going. We get the firing squad going.
Nice work.
Well, thanks.
Relax, guy. Alright, here's the strafing we're gonna find.
Damn,
Yes,
Major,
baby.
I love you too.
I love you too, buddy. Some serious business. So if there's a squad up here, I don't want to move out into the open there. These guys are pinned, so they can't do anything. So we're just gonna get up over here. I think it's time to call in our big boom. There's two squads moved up into all this cover over here, and I would really like it to not be there anymore.
Coordinates received.
We'll call our missile strike in here and see what we can get going for ourselves. I have to move her first. That's fine. Some more enemies coming up into our kill zone.
What?
Sir.
Alright, we'll take the shots here. Damn, didn't actually get them. We'll do it again. Dude is still alive. But he's pretty tough. Kind of a badass. We're under fire from the pirates, so we gotta get out of the open immediately, or they're gonna get pinned down out here, and that's gonna suck.
Getting frustrated.
Although these are the guys with the
Orders.
decent armor. This is the only squad that doesn't. Missile strike in just a second. Don't think there's anything over here, so let's get up behind this. Some semblance of cover. See the enemies still taking pot shots at us here.
All right, no more trick shots.
What?
Drinking ain't
That's
easy.
sick. Shooting. Thank you, Lance Corporal. Now we've got 20 AP left, so we're gonna actually drop our smoke barrage here. It's gonna give us an opportunity to move up in a second. I would really appreciate it if the missile strike actually came in right about now.
Yeah.
And we're all in this little cluster. It is gonna scatter. There's no guarantee it hits where I want it to, but it's more likely than not gonna. Those guys are still pinned down, so we're gonna take this opportunity and we're gonna move up and get behind some cover before we get lit up by something heavier hitting than what we've been under fire
Yeah, still
from
under heavy fire.
till now. It's low accuracy. We're also pinned down somewhat. We're just gonna
mission
roll her back. Let's see what the missile is.
Bring in more.
Bro, oh, that was beautiful. What a time for it to actually be accurate for a change. I've seen the missile scatter like multiple tiles before, so the fact that it actually just cratered that entire area is perfect.
What?
That was everything I could need and more. That was spicy. Now we're gonna firing squad.
Very good. Fuck them up. What?
I do appreciate that some of your
Yeah.
squad leaders are just absolutely ruthlessly bloodthirsty.
I like this one, Major.
What a way to go.
Get to cover.
Survive a frickin',
Sir.
like 300mm missile attack, and then you get lit up by the dudes to come in and sweep you out.
Let's do this. Puzzle 103rd. Are they good?
So, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to use the Walker after this mission. It's a little beat up, and I don't think you can repair vehicles in the demo. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's something you do on the strategic layer, which there is no strategic layer currently.
Alright.
Which is fine by me, but is something to keep in mind. Do I have to be next to that guy?
Yeah.
Really? Needs to
Sir.
be babysat that hard?
On task.
How do I evac them? Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what, I can select them? Oh, they'll move automatically to the evac zone.
Yeah?
That makes sense. Okay.
No time.
Fair enough. Alright, are going to move up over here. I think the enemy squads that were defending these VIPs are gone. Okay, so now I get to move them. They don't move automatically. It just takes a turn for them to figure out that they're being saved. Don't need to deploy, but I will go around the shop blocker.
Yeah.
I feel confident there's not a whole lot up here.
Orders?
I'm gonna drop my drone in just to confirm that, because do not want egg on my face about it. I would really like to confirm that the battlefield is nice and clear, which it doesn't actually look to be.
Yeah?
So I just need to get over there and grab those guys real quick, and they'll move to the evac zone.
Sir,
So,
listen up. We're moving.
pursuant to that, we'll get these 3 squads to go secure the evac zone. I don't think any more enemies will come off the map, but I have seen it before.
Orders? Move it, Marines!
I would very much like to not be surprised.
Yeah.
Our mech is also super
Moving.
slow now that the engine is damaged,
Yeah.
Sir,
which does sting.
on task. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Armor detail on
I'm in
duty.
the evac zone.
Sir. Move out.
We're keeping him out in the open here, just in case there's any surprises.
Eyes open.
Don't lose the civilians to some rando pirate squad.
103rd heading to cover.
An abundance of caution is what I would deem the most important part of playing this game. You do not want to just
Yeah.
take tons of risks
Moving.
and be really silly with your guys, because they will get absolutely steamrolled.
What?
Yeah?
VIP's gonna move? Nah.
Sure.
Alright, VIPs. Whatever,
Orders.
man.
Orders. What?
There's still pirate units on the map, I just don't know where they are. I don't really want to go looking for them either. I would very much like to just get my dudes out of here. A vehicle, the walker rotates without a AP penalty. That's so cool. Okay, so walkers can rotate without a penalty to their AP, or using any AP. I guess I should really be more specific. Wheeled and tracked vehicles do use AP to rotate, though. Oh, that's actually really useful. So this is like just a straight-up gun platform. So you don't really go scouting with this, do you? So I should have been a little bit more cognizant of that to begin with. Kind of makes sense
All right.
intuitively.
Yeah.
Not really a
Getting
big
to
deal,
cover.
though. I'll show off another vehicle after
Orders?
this round is over, which should be in just a second. As soon as I get these VIPs over there.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sir. Orders.
Let's do this. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir. Orders.
Eyes open.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sir. Orders.
Let's do this.
All done, sir.
Let's go. Let's go. Easy peasy. Oh, dude, this has been going great. This is super exciting because I'm gonna get to show y'all the last mission for the demo. Oh, I shouldn't say the last mission. That's technically incorrect. Just the last mission for the operation. The demo has, like, 10 different mission scenarios, and, if you do repeat them, they do change, which is really cool. Flamethrower? Yeah. Got a vehicle flamethrower. I've not gotten to use that yet. So we're gonna go, roast some marshmallows, soon. Well, I can't use it on the walker because it got shot up, but we've still got the APV. So how does this work? Okay. I can throw the flamethrower on there. What's the last mission look like? The Lion's Den. Destroy the majority of the hostile forces. I've beaten it once. It was pretty freaking tough. This looks like it's going to be pretty manageable, though, honestly. I'm curious to play through this with the higher difficulty. Because it's probably going to add a ton more enemies to the maps and make it really tough. So we'll do that. We'll kit this out. I don't know if I need the vehicle ammo. Playing the mission and make sure that I'm within my bounds here. Which does actually look like I am, so that's cool. We can promote one more unit. Oh, we could go up even more with this guy. We're gonna max this dude out, basically. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Okay. Anything else I want? Frag grenades might not be bad. Yeah, since we're just trying to destroy the enemy here, I think I'll go for that. So I'm gonna finish this out, and then we'll all go our separate ways, I suppose. God, adding squatties gets so expensive as you get equipment on, man. Can't even add one to this guy's squad. Can I, though? Maximum gain. Probably on my mid-range unit will be really nice. Swap the armors on these guys. Oh no, we can't because just got the supply costs down. It's fine, whatever. She can stay decked out. She's a really good mid-range squad as is. You can kind of use her to get in the front line if I need to. And what do we want to throw on you? Disposable AT maybe? Just another AT just in case. I've got plenty of it. Don't have any access to that with my vehicle though, so just to cover my bases, I would like to not get smacked up if the enemy comes in with some serious business. I'll get rid of that equipped AT, and I'm gonna go with the ammo bag. Who's got the ammo bag right now? Lynn? Wait, what? Oh, she's got it. I don't need that many grenades. Yeah, we'll just swap that around. And, you know what? You can have double AT. And I'll have the flamethrower rocket on him with the ability to use more of the actual infantry special weapon that he's got, which is a very, very powerful AT rocket. What this is in the middle. Hopefully it's not anything too crazy.
DCR's lost the plug. They're running my speed.
Sir.
Oh, and I get to show y'all this for the APV. You can actually put your units inside of it. Obviously, it's an infantry carrier. And there is, I didn't show it off because I was playing around with the Walker mostly, but this 81st Astral Squad, their squad lead for the first promotion can get access to an ability called Mobile Infantry, and it makes it crazy cheap to get in and out of the APV. Otherwise, it's like 20
What?
AP to do so. With the skill, it's only 5 AP, so you can jump in and out of it like crazy. It's really nice. It's a very powerful vehicle.
You're
I love
out
it to
here.
death. It's
Nobody got the ground
stupid
yet.
expensive though.
Lock it in. Yeah, on it.
Going.
What? Are there Kutta there?
You can see vehicles do get some cover, but they only get half cover from heavy cover. Anything else, they'll just get shot
Keeping an eye.
through at full accuracy, basically. It's a big-ass vehicle, right? They can't just disappear into the mist, really. But it is really nice to have it out. It also acts as cover for your units. And it just enables a very aggressive style of like constantly moving forward and grinding your enemy down. The Walker seems really cool as a mobile gun platform. I was using it a little bit wrong as how it seems, and this APV is a little bit less good at that because it uses action points to swivel, unlike the Walker.
Hostiles.
Yeah, there's a machine gun turret over here. Oh, Jesus. Not in range with the AT. That is a little bit unfortunate, but I'll tell you what, I've got an idea, actually. A scary turret blocking your path and threatening your troops?
Eyes open.
Where is she? Oh, she's up here. She's already moved.
Ready.
We'll do it next turn. I do have a plan for taking this thing down. We're gonna get our the squad leader into the
What?
vehicle. We're
I
gonna
can
rock
kill from
forward a little
anywhere.
bit. I don't think it can damage the. I'm pretty sure this vehicle is immune to
Engines
machine
engaged.
guns. I've noticed that anything short of regular AT is
Eyes
not
open.
something that the AI is interested in trying to,
Moving to waypoint.
shoot that thing with. So I
Moving in.
feel like it's fairly safe to do what I'm
Sir.
doing right now. We'll see though. I've got a backup plan, obviously.
What?
What damage does this do? Oh, this has crazy range on it. Wow, dude. That's not really gonna do anything. This ain't doing nothing. Just sit here. I'm just gonna move this forward.
Got visual
to
on
here.
targets.
Oh, there's enemies here. Oh, boarding commandos too. These guys are actually kind of scary. Can I hit them? No. But I can shoot the flamethrower here and cut this whole area off, I think. Oh, that's so cool. Bro. Dude, the weapons in this game are beyond awesome. Kinda got me going goofy. Okay, this is actually not gonna work the way I thought. It's actually 30 AP. Oh my goodness gravy. I still think I'm okay. I'm still okay. We're gonna fire our accurate rocket here.
Rockets free.
And it did damage the system. We got a freaking RPG team over here. This is where it gets really scary because This last mission was a freaking nightmare the first time I played it, and this is where I got one of my game overs while I was screwing around
They're
in this.
mine.
Yeah?
They're sneaking up on me too. There's an EMP team right next to me now. What's up, Fly? How's it going, dude? I hope you're doing alright. I'm just showing off this this new really freaking awesome mega fun game that is gonna be coming out in a little while. So buckle in. This is the last mission that I'm on for this operation of the demo. The demo is super replayable. It's free on Steam. It's called Menace. You should go check it out. I'm gonna leave that here. Just so people who are dropping in and out can know what's going on.
Awaiting orders, Major.
Alright, I hear you. Don't get impatient, please. Got business to attend to. Okay, we're gonna get him out of the APV.
Let's strategize.
Oh my mother of goodness gracious.
Coordinates received. Fire mission underway.
Alright, we're going crazy with the fire support because there are a lot of dudes right next to us. Alright, this thing is messed up. She could just get cut in half here. This plan is not going as well as I was hoping. I did not think that there were, you know, like 5 squads over here, so, we're gonna have to rush over to help her out. She's gonna get pinned here. She's got heavy armor on her squad, though. Should be fairly safe for the time being.
Oscar Mike.
And we can always run her back to the APV, as long as she doesn't get fully pinned. That is an option. It looks like she might be able to survive it, but no, she's gonna go to ground. The enemy is hanging out in this disaster zone, though.
What?
Yeah, that's fair, dude. Don't even fret about it. The game is gonna be much better when they decide to actually give a hoot and add in some of the changes that people want. And, you know, it's a game on an old engine. I think it's reached the end of its lifespan, and we're really seeing the technical dead doing what they can do. Just absolutely chopped up that squad there. Machine gun turret's gonna blow up and it can't shoot. That's so nice.
Catching a corner.
Alright, we just need to get up in position. Our sniper does have a good odds-on chance of hitting these guys. They're really heavily armored, so... Actually hit our shot. They've got SMGs, so they're not really that much of a threat at long range. They're like a close-range specialist squad for the pirates. There is only one enemy type right now. Wow, that AT did nothing to the tank. I think I might have missed technically. See, we're pinned down, so we can't shoot, can't use items or anything. We can only crawl. But our position is as good as it's gonna get, probably. Well, we could, crawl over here. That's gonna just leave us open on this other side. I think I'm,
Finding cover.
good. We're gonna crawl behind this cover here. I think that's our best bet right now.
Let's synergize.
Stay down, please.
Fire mission underway.
Here comes the boom.
Oh my fucking god! Hoorah, Major!
Actually did some good damage. Oh, there's an EMP turret over here that we're gonna have to take out. Our squad's doing much better
They're
here.
not dead, sir.
You can see how effective cover really is. Like, in the open, your units, they just die. If you get them into decent cover and they have some okay armor, they can survive a lot of fire. and potential punishment.
Taking cover.
Just need to get up here. We'll be in range with the heavy MG this next turn once we deploy. I'm just gonna rock up over here with the tank and just unload with the flamethrower here, because they're actually pretty bunched up right there. I think this is within range. Not really. Damn. They're in the area, so we do actually hit them. Actually, suppress is pretty decent too.
Casaback needed.
Oh!
Situation still kinetic, Major.
No way. I didn't think that was gonna happen. That sucks, man. So we lost a squatty. Took a stray bullet to the head, and Elroy is no longer amongst us. We'll say a little technical reform or something. Oh, that's very odd. Okay. So the rocket flamethrower is not very not really meant for long range, and it doesn't have a very good spread on it. It's fine, that's fine. Oh, I forgot about these guys up here. So we gotta go kill this enemy squad up top. We're gonna send our boy Cody up here. We're gonna pop that so they're resistant to the suppression. It's low accuracy, medium accuracy is not a bad shot to take. Our other options really aren't looking too promising anyways. So the range on this is not quite far enough to get the turret. I'm gonna need to move my vehicle next turn because it's in range of this EMP turret. If it gets hit, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I'd really like to avoid that if I can. I need my AT team up in range so they can start smacking the turret up. I'm really sad about losing my guy down here. Oh, and they just run into the flames and start taking damage. Bunch of geniuses, as you can tell. Lim has like all the heavy equipment on except for armor, which is a bit of a shame. I want to move him where the vehicle is right now. It's gonna have to be next turn though. Just run him up behind the APV for now. We'll take some inaccurate shots, I should say, against these guys. So we actually get him. We actually get him down.
Having a good time.
As long as you're dropping models, you actually get suppression effects. It's only if your units are missing shots that it becomes an issue. Most of the time, they're pretty happy. We're gonna use our sniper here.
They're suppressed.
Gonna take advantage of these poor guys out in the open.
Trinketing ain't easy.
The sniper rifle is probably the best squad special. It is so long range and so consistent. It falls off against armor pretty badly, or not against armor, but against cover pretty badly, but it is just nice to be able to reach out and hit your opponent whenever you really need something. I'm going to be very silly and keep my vehicle here for the time being, just so I can get the flamethrower off of these guys. Because it's two units bunched up on one another that's literally in cover. Can't think of anything more appropriate than utilizing the flamethrower for that kind of a situation. We'll get the smoke down, so that's going to actually cover us up, and then we can squeak forward a little bit there. That's too far. This is in the open. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. It's too far. He's got really strong armor, and I did just sauce him up with combat drugs, so... Dude, the SMGs
How about you take a reason?
are so filthy at close range, man. mean, just entire squads get folded up by the volleys.
That's one way to do recon.
Wow. Okay. Shit. Blew up. Jeez Louise. We'll just move up on the edge here. EMPs don't do damage to fleshy type of materials, so I feel pretty confident that we'll be safe if we advance those guys out there. I haven't seen it ever shoot at infantry even. I'm pretty sure those EMP turrets don't do any damage. Unless it's, you know, an actual vehicle, in which case
That's
they
what you get for dragging me out here.
do indeed shred them.
Rebuilding this place could be quite
Too
lucrative.
far.
Quite a bit of collateral, Major.
Alright, drop to a knee here, guys.
Rocket
I need
free.
y'all to shred this thing. Whoa! EMP discharge. I've never seen that before, okay. Well, that was new. That was an experience. Didn't know that it could do that. Too far. Got the smoke screen here. Can we hit this? Dang. Come on, really? Just bounced off of it, dude.
What?
That's sad. Let's just shoot back here. I'm gonna drop another smoke barrage just to make sure the EMP doesn't get a free shot off of my vehicle. Just keep rolling forward. You can see why I like this thing so much. It just hits so freaking hard. Very, very, very effective for purposes I need it to be useful for. We're gonna smoke this corner off and we'll go rush up to it. Mentioned it earlier, smoke is excellent in this game. It's a really beautiful effect, and then it also actually covers your guys really nicely. You can't really even have combat in smoke. It also puts fires out, apparently. It does appear that way, at least. Looks like there's some fires over here, so maybe not. We're just gonna leave those guys to stand in it for a minute. Same here.
What?
Yep.
And we gotta move slowly through this. There's a scavenger gang over there. Can we move back after we fire? I don't think we can. I think we can
They're hogging dirt.
there's one left. We can get back in the smoke anyway, so it's no big deal. It's just the last little bit of cleanup, basically. It's going really well here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Sir.
missed with that, so we need the... we need
Rocket
pipe
free.
to-
Contact result.
Easy success. This is why they send us.
Okay, we didn't even have to kill that last unit that was hiding in the back, dude. We just shredded through them. Oh my god. GG, Pirates. It's the quickest one I've had yet. Came in under the amount of time that we needed. Not that many casualties. Very fun. I'm gonna be streaming this game again. I'm gonna be closing it out here. After I take a look at this automatic grenade launcher, this is going to be super fun to play with whenever they add this in at base. It's worth remembering that the mission modifiers change on the tutorial operations all the time, so there's going to be opportunities to use all of these weapons that you get for rewards. I'm really excited to get to that point. Pirates have been Beaten and dispersed. 5 stars, mission performance, 602 points. I don't know what you do with points. I got components. I don't know what I do with those. And I don't know what authority means. But hopefully it's useful for the strategic layer. Oh, here it is. It's at the top. Duh. Okay. Sick. Authority represents your ability as commanding officer of the TCR and an impetus to keep order and discipline aboard your ship. At lower levels of authority, negative events like accidents and brawls between characters become more frequent. Whereas, with higher levels of authority, they become more rare. On the battlefield, the discipline of characters is modified between -20 at 0 authority and +20 at 100 authority, influencing how well squads recover from being suppressed and how quickly their morale fails. Gain authority by successfully completing operations with a 4-star rating or higher, and you can both gain and spend authority with the choices you make in events. That's cool. Dude, this game's gonna be so amazing on release. Like, I'm already crazy excited. I mean, it honestly feels fairly polished, as is. For how much time they have before release, I'm really interested to see what else they are going to be adding in. Play the tutorial as many times as you want. So I'm going to plop open a challenging one and I'll work on it later. You can see all the different mission modifiers and effects. Like, this will give me an infantry special. I get a vehicle accessory if I do this one. It's hunting down saboteurs. Prevent hostile units from attacking the zone. This is what I'm going to do next. That'll be fun. Oh, whoa. This looks fun. This is intercepting a convoy, sabotage. And this is a crazy hard one. Retain spaceport. It's another defense mission. This is destroying enemies at the end. Wowie zowie, okay. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. You know, if Warhammer was your thing, check out the first hour and a half. If you're interested in this game, download the demo. This thing will run on a potato. My computer is like on the lower mid tier now. Runs perfectly. If you've got even less specs than I do, then it'll probably still run just fine. This would probably run on like less than a 1080 and like an i5, I would guess. It does not seem demanding in the least, so go take a peek, guys. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Y'all take care. Peace out. I'll see y'all next time.